Connecting this crowd. Beautiful. We're recording. Hello, everyone. I want to take a picture. Even though not all of you are on video, but you guys are.
My huge headphones.
Because your huge headphones.
They're so comfortable, though.
It's so funny because I feel like, let's put it this way. There we go. There, beautiful. I was like, I don't want the light in it, but then if I put it away, it looks so orange. I love this. All right. Yay! It's week 6. Woo! Oh my gosh. Okay, I want you guys to post, like, in the comments, what is, like, the biggest themes that you've loved about this program so far? And, of course, I'm still making new themes, so, like, we're not really done. Like, let's be honest. We're not really. I still have live trainings I want to do with you guys, so, like, don't worry. But I still have to make, like, some of week 6 and week 5. But what is one of the biggest takeaways you've had from this course so far? What is one of the biggest, like, oh my gosh, I've loved this so much because of this? Or just anything you want to share, or, like, anything that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited that I achieved this. Like, this was the coolest thing that I achieved in the past 6 weeks. I just want you to start reflecting on 6 weeks and be like, where were you and where are you now? Because 6 weeks, even if it's not the monetary goal that we want, we achieve it. You guys, business is not just about monetary. It's not, right? There's so much that dives into it. What have you, like, what are the awesome things that you've achieved? Terry said my energy. Well, yay. Miss Terry gets to be around my energy for a very long time. So, confidence, yes. Got my mojo back, Wayne said. I love that. That's so awesome. That is one of the priceless things that you can never put money on. Because here's the thing. Now success is just inevitable, honestly, right? Like, now it's just like, well, of course it's going to happen, right? But it's like one of those things that nobody can take your confidence away from you. And when they do for like a hot minute, then you go back to remembering who you are and you're like, awesome. So I can do this, right? And then you go back to that and then you'll never forget that. To be me and unapologetic. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love this. Yay. I just love, you know, like, being here for you guys. Absolutely. So I don't know who wants to talk to me first. I know that Jennifer and I need to discuss more of your messaging and just get this, like, out of the way. Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is anybody, if you're like, I know I need to talk, let's just, like, take, you know, so I don't know who wants to go first. Or if it's okay if I go with Jennifer first. If anybody's like, I have to leave in like 30 minutes, let me know. Sierra said I'm in mid-launch. Yay! Credit for my first minute course. It was a hit. I know what next level Sierra looks like and actively become her every single day. Yay! That's awesome. Is it okay if I start with Jennifer? Are we all cool with that? Okay, I'm going to mute everybody else except Jennifer. There we go. Perfect. I think everybody's muted. And then, oops. It looks like oh, here we go. I was like, it looks like I'm chatting just to Sierra, but I didn't mean to do that. Okay, I probably fixed it. Okay, so then whoever wants to talk next, just say, like, because I can't see some of you. So just type it in the chat, like, I want to go next. I want to go next. And then we'll kind of go in order of being claimed. But Miss Jennifer, let's figure this out. Jennifer and I spoke the other day, and we were kind of, I feel like you're just kind of, we're weird with clarity. So let's talk to me about what's going on.
I have one question. What's wrong with using purpose in my message?
Did I say there anything wrong with it?
Not necessarily, but I think when I put purpose, I think the question was asked, like, what is purpose?
What is that?
You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. So
the problem becomes, if you don't know how to explain it, that's the problem.
Oh, so there's really nothing wrong with actually using that. It's just very
fluffy. It's just fluffy, airy. That's not a problem. But what does it actually mean? Purpose in what? Purpose in your life, purpose in your business. And maybe that's what you clarify it as, right?
Yeah.
So clarify all the things. Purpose in my body, like, what, you know, like, purpose in my job, purpose in, like, what am I looking for purpose in? And also, is that what your client is actually looking for?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Okay. So I've always had this idea of purpose, and like I run to the same problem where people are like, okay, what purpose is, right? So then yesterday I got interviewed on a podcast.
Yay!
And the strangest thing is that
my pitch, or did you just, you said you filled it out a long time ago.
I did. I'll tell you the funny story. I filled it out a while ago, and I don't remember exactly what I put on the form. It was one of those things where I'm like, yeah. And it was about, they wanted to feature someone that, how they got to their point on how they found their purpose and their passion and what they were going to do. So I freaking, when they sent me this the night before yesterday, like, oh, when do you want to schedule? And they had openings for next week or whatever. And they had one opening for yesterday. And it was like less than 24 hours. And I was like, screw it. Poop. And I submitted it. And I did it. Super, super, super fun. And then I noticed the podcast was like, I think we went on for like an hour or 40 minutes. So speaking about it, I am super confident about speaking about it. Like I can, like they asked me about like, you know, like, what is purpose and how does one get there? And speaking about it, I feel super confident about it. For some reason, writing about it or having my message written or how I write it is the part where I'm getting tripped up over.
So then that's what you need to do is then you need to create like a Voxer to yourself where you just rant about it. Just like picture yourself, or even you holding up Ideal Client Breakthrough. And you answer the questions with your voice and just riff. We'll go back and listen to it and write it down.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So like I did, I think this was from one of your assignments that I wrote down. My clients go from feeling stuck to completely feeling in control in their life and their destiny. They learn how to master their mindset and how to apply the solution to their business, making them unstoppable. Is that too fluffy as well?
Can you type that really quickly in the chat?
Yeah.
I'm going to say yes because I have questions.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that we can't just add in and or tweak a smidget of it to when there's no questions.
Okay.
So right now I feel like I still have questions, but I want to read it. Sometimes it's easier if I can see it. So type that in. So here's the thing. I know there are people out in the world that says, I want to live my life on purpose. Like I want to know what my purpose is, but we want to make sure that we're not attracting the people who are depressed saying, do I have a purpose for living? Right?
Got it.
And not that we can't help those people, but those aren't really their people. So we have to be clear when we talk about that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But I also know there's people who are like, I know I'm supposed to be doing something bigger than what I'm doing, but what is that? Because that's where I was. But what I have said is that my purpose, I don't think those are the words I would have used.
Okay. So what do you recommend? Yeah. What do you recommend me using instead?
Well, I mean, let's have everybody, you type that in first and then let's have everybody chat. So, I mean, for you guys, if you felt like if you guys resonate with this, if you're like, I've never felt that way, then do not answer. Okay. Okay, so I remember being in a place of being like, something's supposed to be different. I'm not living as my fullest version of me. I'm not living as the person that I'm meant to live as. Like I wasn't as powerful as I was supposed to be, and I knew that I was supposed to be very, very powerful. But I also knew that I was meant for something huge. I was meant to make a ginormous impact in this world. I've known that since I was a little girl, though. I have known that forever. That's always been my part of my life. But I don't know if I would have said I don't know what my purpose is. Maybe I would have been lost in direction of how to get to my goal. Maybe I didn't know my direction. So maybe they're lacking clarity. Maybe they're not lacking purpose. Like I knew I was meant to do something.
And that's where I think, this is where I think I am. So I feel like I felt the same way. I always felt that I was going to make an impact. I was going to make a difference somehow. I just didn't know exactly how. And I think that too, I think that's
a little bit of clarity. And that's a little bit maybe like the doubting. And then it's like, well, what do I actually do? I know that there's more meant for me. So it's like, I think so is that what you're trying to say by saying purpose? And if so, maybe we don't say purpose at all. We just say what it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
you have to think about what is your client actually like searching for.
Mm-hmm.
Are they actually saying I'm searching for my purpose? If they are, okay, great, right? Then let's explain that. But is that what they're actually searching for? I don't know.
A lot of them are, and that's why I go back and forth with it, because I know it can seem fluffy, but like yesterday on the podcast, like the girl that was on there, she's like, oh my God, like she's like, I'm obsessed with you. You're saying exactly how I felt. And I feel like a lot of people do feel that way.
So
but like you said
about it, like what are they feeling?
They feel like they know they're meant for more. They want to do more. They don't know exactly in the direction they want to go, but they know they're supposed to make a bigger impact, and they know they're supposed to be living more than they're actually living. Like they want to expand. I like
the idea of, what did I say the other day that I liked? The live more. Like it was like,
yes, the live more.
Like when you say that, I visualize someone say, all I do all day is I wake up, I go to work, I come home, I go to bed.
Like the Truman Show.
Work, repeat. Eat, sleep, work, repeat. And I'm so sick of my life being this way. I know I'm supposed to be doing something different. That's what I visualize when you say that. I want to live more. I want to, yes. And everything too, but I want to feel like I'm living on purpose. Maybe that's what it is. You feel like you're living your life on purpose, not looking for your purpose. You see how there's just a shift even just there? What do you guys think? That's already like, that makes more sense? You guys can recommend and say everything too. Want to live more. Sorry, keep going, Jennifer. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I had to say that. You want to do more, don't know the direction. They want to live more.
They want to live more. They definitely want to be their own. They definitely want to be their own boss at some point. They just they can't live the Truman Show life, like I call it. So they definitely want to break out of it.
I don't know what that means. I don't know the reference. I like the reference, but I don't know what that means.
Oh, you never heard of the or seen the movie The Truman Show?
No, I've never heard
Jim Carrey.
I've never seen it.
He wakes up and does the same thing every single day.
Oh, okay.
Every single day. It's like the every single day thing.
It's like 50 First Dates.
yes, exactly.
I understand. I was like, you have to give me a love movie, okay? Like a romantic comedy, and then I will understand.
My husband is a big movie person.
Okay, so there's this song that this reminds me of. I think it's called, I forgot the band. But it literally says like, everyone is a machine, work, eat, sleep, repeat. And it's all about this idea of how this is all we do. Is this really all there is, right? And so that could be one of your posts. Is this really all there is?
Yes. I like to include those. And I also like to always include, like, you know, like we all live, like we get a second chance at life, and we really don't, you know, are we really pushing ourselves and going further into what we really want to do and living the life on purpose and what the direction we want to go?
Here's the thing. Okay, let's tweak this though, because I don't know if they actually care to master their mindset. So that's just a byproduct. That's just a like a symptom, not a result, right? So like when you're sick, you know, like if I'm coughing, that's just a symptom. That's not actually the problem, right? Okay. So like it's the same thing with like good things. Like that's just a benefit, not necessarily the core of what they want. Okay. You don't need to master their mindset necessarily in there. Because do they even know they have a problem with mindset, and do they even care to fix their mindset? Maybe they do, but maybe they don't, right? But that doesn't mean that they don't want to or know that they want to. They might not even know that's a problem. So I help aspiring entrepreneurs. I love that. Aspiring entrepreneurs, that makes sense. That makes sense. Right. Okay. Aspiring entrepreneurs. Okay. So you have mastered their mindset, create clarity and confidence so they can create a life. Well, we have too many creates right there. Create so that she can create a life and business.
Yeah, I got stuck there at the end.
Yeah. Okay. I help aspiring entrepreneurs. Hold on. Maybe it's even find clarity. I help aspiring entrepreneurs. Here, I need you to type this. Type this as I'm talking.
Okay.
Okay. I help aspiring entrepreneurs find clarity, and then maybe in something so that they can start living their life on purpose and develop and design a business they are obsessed with. I don't know, are you going to help them design businesses? Is that what you're going to help them do?
I can. This is where I kind of go back and forth with, you know, whether I'm
to, like, decide what you want to. I think that's the biggest problem here is you need to decide, like, what do I actually want to help people do?
Okay.
You know?
Because if I don't go into the direction of helping them design their business, then how would that pitch finish? I help aspiring to find clarity.
Well, here's my problem is that you're helping aspiring entrepreneurs. Well, then why are we helping entrepreneurs at all?
Exactly. So no, I need to help them design.
Does that make sense? So it's like, when I first started my business, I knew I wanted to work with entrepreneurs because I like how entrepreneurs' brains work. I also had been working with entrepreneurs for a couple of years at that point, and I really, really loved being around that atmosphere. So then I was like, okay, well, I can help you with your confidence. And then later here's the thing, you guys, I got more clear on my message as I went, okay? And that it's going to morph and change and grow and expand and whatever. Jennifer, you, like I told you the other day, you're in like this growth spurt right now to where you're like, oh my God, look at all these amazing things I can help someone with. I think that's why your journey is just a little bit in a weird place. That's it. And like I told you, I think it's just going to be like, okay, this all makes sense. Boom, this is what I do. Here's the boom, right?
Yeah.
And so I think the thing is sometimes when I feel like we're changing up our elevator pitch and what we tell people we do and all of this stuff and what we help people with is because we've grown so much that we're just like, oh my gosh, this is bigger than I even thought it was. Right?
I agree.
So, but that's not to say that you don't help them find the perfect MLM, right? You help them find like what feels good for them. I'm not saying that you help them do whatever, right? You can help them in a lot of ways, and then maybe you tweak it later on, and you're like, oh, you know, whatever. Okay, so I help aspiring entrepreneurs find clarity. Yeah, so I feel like we're missing a few words. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to power out some words here of how they want to feel and what they want. So phrases and words of how they want to feel and what they want more than anything. And let's just put them like in words and let's just use them power. So you tell me and I'll type.
Okay, they definitely want to feel confident. They definitely want to feel like they're making a difference, they're making an impact. They definitely want to create more freedom. They want to spend more time with their family. They want to create more money. They want to feel bliss. They want to feel happy. And they want to feel like they're making a difference. Empowered, super empowered. And they want to feel like they can just be themselves too at the same, you know.
Okay. Okay. So I help aspiring entrepreneurs. Hold on. Maybe we say, I help aspiring entrepreneurs live their life on purpose. Hold on, let me type this. I help aspiring entrepreneurs. I don't like live their life on purpose. Like I do, but I don't. So maybe it's like step into, like activate a purpose-filled life or something like that. Or like, I don't know, any description.
Yeah, I like the step into too. What is it that I wrote?
Okay.
I help inspiring entrepreneurs.
Purpose, so freedom, lifestyle. I help aspiring entrepreneurs step into a full freedom lifestyle. Where are they now? You said stuck. Oh, here, let me go back up to this. You have stuck to completely in control of their life and destiny, to learn how to master their mindset, how to tally the solutions.
How to apply.
Okay, I was like, what is that? Apply the solution to their business, making them unstoppable. Yeah, see, like I'm just like, what did you just say to me there, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like, it's like, okay, but then I'm like, wait, what? Like that makes no sense.
Okay.
It's just a lot of words, and then I'm like, but what do you say? And then
yeah, I know. I wanted
some of it. Yeah. I help aspiring entrepreneurs step into a purpose-filled freedom lifestyle by generating complete clarity in their I don't even know if we need to say business because you said entrepreneurs.
That's true.
You know what I mean? I help aspiring entrepreneurs step into a purpose-filled freedom lifestyle. You can even say purposeful lifestyle. It's like right here. I'm just gonna enter this and then I'm gonna start over.
Okay.
I help aspiring entrepreneurs so what else did you say? You said they want to be their own boss, feeling stuck into feeling empowered in their business. But the problem is that the only problem I see with that is that they don't have a business yet, right? Is that correct? Do they have a business or do they not?
They might not. So a lot of so many people are in MLMs now, you know what I mean? So they might have a business already.
But how can they have a business already if they're aspiring entrepreneurs?
Because they really haven't stepped into it. Like they haven't, and it's just like sitting there. You know what I mean? Like they haven't really.
Okay, so then maybe aspiring is not the word.
But they want to be. You know what I mean? They want it. They at the end of the day, that's what they want to be. They want to be on their own.
So, I just feel like we keep we just had what we were doing and now it's like it's shifted a little bit now. So like I just want to be clear because then it's like well, then I don't think we should use the word aspiring. Then I think you should just use entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Because if they already have a business, then they're not aspiring to be an entrepreneur. They already are an entrepreneur.
Okay.
But if they don't have a business already and you're helping them live their life on purpose, see that I think you were talking about two different things here. This is where we're getting confused, right? We have over here, which is what we just talked about, where it's like, oh my gosh, they're just living their day, they're living the day. They know they're meant to do something more, but they don't know what that is. They don't know what that next direction is or even what's even available to them and why they're feeling this way. They don't even know why it looks the way it is, in which case your ideal client is going to be a 9-to-5er, someone who has a shit ton of jobs, or like in some kind of other job that doesn't even necessarily have a business, but wants to have their own business. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's right.
Over here, someone who maybe has an MLM or something like this, but they aren't feeling empowered in their business, right? Like they aren't maybe where they want to. They're just two different things. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's not to say that someone who has an MLM, let's say I signed up for an MLM, I got my box, and I haven't done anything with it. That's not to say they're not going to resonate with, I want to be my own boss so bad, but I don't know if this is the right.
Got it.
But I know I'm meant to do something more. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. And I think you explained it.
That's where you're getting confused.
Yes.
I'm not saying you can change that later. But that's where, well, of course, because then now I'm confused. And I'm like, okay, well, that's two different people that we're speaking to. Okay. Different times. Before you're talking to this person A over here. So then aspiring entrepreneurs make sense because they want that for themselves. They want to be their own boss, right?
Got it. Yes.
Is that true? I don't.
Yes, it is. No, it is true. And I think those are the two ideas that I keep playing in my head, that I keep bouncing back, causing me the lack of clarity.
But I think you talked more freely about the first person than you did the second person.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
And like I said, it's not to say that someone doesn't have an MLM business.
Yes.
Sitting here thinking, God, there's something more for me. There's something more for me. Because that's what mine was. I had an MLM business, but I also had like 4 other jobs. Mm-hmm. You know? I wanted to be full-time in my business, but I also I just couldn't make ends meet. I was like, something's happening here. I'm supposed to do something different than what I'm doing, but I don't know what it is.
Yes, exactly. I 100% agree with that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go back to the original we'll just remove the one statement that you said from the record. The record. I've been watching this long ago, and I'm like, I just feel like I'm a lawyer all the time now. I'm like, from the record. Okay, so I help aspiring entrepreneurs. Hold on. We might have to play with this later, Jennifer, too, over just in a thread too, because just so we're not spending hours and hours on this.
Yeah.
I help aspiring entrepreneurs design a purpose-filled business. See, here's the thing though, and then we're going back to the last thing, but I really think it's really they want to live their life on purpose. They want to get out of, maybe that's what it is, get out of the day-to-day and find, I don't even know if they need to know that you're helping them find clarity, right? I don't even know if they need to know that. So maybe it's I help aspiring entrepreneurs get out of the day-to-day and step into, and then maybe you say, I'm going to help you live your life on purpose. Maybe that's your tagline or something like that. You know what I mean? That's just something in your content and stuff in your copy. Or maybe after the elevator pitch, you know? Get out of the day-to-day and step into the freedom lifestyle. I don't know. I feel now we need to pull all this together. That's what I need you to do. Is pull all this together in a document, and we need to post all of this, honestly.
Okay.
But this is more so what you're helping them do. You're helping them get out of so, and then it's how can we describe that in a different word? It's what does the day-to-day even feel like? I help you go from normal to, mediocre to, you know what I mean?
Yes.
I help you shift out of feeling mediocre to helping you feel empoweredly free. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what it is. What do they think their life is right now? But I think the day-to-day makes way more sense than saying I'm going to help you find your purpose. But I think it's living out your purpose. That makes more sense.
Living out your purpose.
And so I think we just I need you to grab all of this stuff, and then we can put it all on one piece of paper, and then let's or one post, and let's continue talking about it. Because here's the thing, it's confident, making a difference. Maybe it's create the impact they know they're meant to create, right? And some of this could just be your copy, but how do we talk about what you do? Making a difference, feeling empowered, being themselves, make more money, freedom. The freedom, more time with family makes sense with freedom. They want to be happy. So we definitely just need to kind of tweak some of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's right here. Do you have an idea in your head at all?
Yeah. It's. I feel it's right there. I feel once I'm in it, I can describe it. And then like the things that I teach, of course, is mindset, soul work and manifestation, all that. When I'm speaking about it, I can speak about it. It's just this part. And I also don't want to, and it's funny because you nailed it, because I don't want to necessarily always talk about business, necessarily don't always want to talk about business. I want to talk about the other stuff that I feel so confident in talking about, which is like confidence, mindset, and,
Right. But remember, we sell them on what they want, and we give them what we give them what they actually need. So we sell them on what they think that they need, right? That's why I'm like, do they think that they need? That's the problem with, talking about like confidence. If they think they need confidence, perfect. But if they're like, I don't even know what mindset is, or I don't even know what that means at this point, because they're aspiring entrepreneurs, they might not even be on their self-love journey yet. They might not even be on their self-help journey, right? Maybe you are the first step into that. Well, they don't even know they need that right now, but then you show them this world and they're like, mind blown, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So in that speak, like when you say like, show them what they think they need, I thought it was, okay, I thought it was mindset, but it's not.
Is that what they actually want? They actually want help with their mindset? Like, do they know they want help with their mindset?
I did. I know I did.
Okay, well then fine. But usually that's not like the thing that most people are like jumping at the bit to like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to work on my mindset today. Like more people are like, oh my God, I can't wait to make money today, or I can't wait to like, meet my love of my life today, or, and so maybe it's thinking about what the mindset actually brings in. So we have to go back to those tangible results.
Which I think for my girls always going to be money.
Money, yeah, maybe
it allows them
money, happiness, and like power, right?
Yeah,
that impact. So here's the thing: they're sitting here saying, "I know there's something more for me." Right? Mm-hmm. So shift into your dream business. Maybe it's something like that. Like maybe it's where you're living your life on your terms, not just society's standards. Maybe that's what it is.
Yes.
I help aspiring entrepreneurs live life on their terms and step out of like, ditch society standards. Maybe that's what it is. I help aspiring entrepreneurs ditch society standards.
Oh, I like that. Ditch.
Entrepreneurs ditch society's standards, and I can't even spell aspiring anymore. Oh my God. Aspiring entrepreneurs ditch society's standards and confidently step into the freedom lifestyle they've always wanted, or something like that. They know they're meant for.
Oh.
Something like that.
I like that.
How do we generalize it, right? Because here's the thing, just because it's just like this, like money courses, right? And so some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about in these few weeks here too, a lot of the things we're talking about, when you take something that helps you make more money, here's the thing, I gave you guys a bunch of strategies of how to go make more money. But a lot of the times those courses are not like, here's 10 ways you can make money today. Here's 10 ways you can sell something today. It's like, this is who you need to be. This is who you need to shift into. They're giving the mindset, but they're selling them what they want, which is money, but they're giving them what they need. Your girl might be like, yeah, I want to work on my mindset, but they also might be like, I don't care, like, I don't know. I just want to be where I want to
make money. Yeah, they just want to make
freedom lifestyle. I just want to be where I want to be. Right? Mm-hmm. I just want to figure this out. I just want to not live my life the way it is anymore.
Okay. Yes.
I mean, and here, I don't know. You have to think about who you were. If I really was at that point, I was on a personal growth journey for 4 years, but I felt like I was pretty good. Not to say I didn't need to work on it more, but that was not the thing I was seeking help for.
No, I agree. I was seeking help on ways to make an income, on ways to be able to stay home.
Mindset was driven into that. It was just kind of thrown into that.
Got it.
But yeah, I help aspiring entrepreneurs ditch society standards. We'll ditch society standards, and then we can just tweak this too, confidently step into the freedom lifestyle they know they're meant for. Okay, that's way more clear.
I like that because it kind of ties into like what I do. I totally ditch all standards.
Yeah, let's break all the rules and tell. Here's the thing. I think that's what's beautiful about entrepreneurs. We all want to do that. You know, that's why we started our own business in the first place. I'm such a rule breaker. I'm always like, bleh, like I've been a rule breaker my whole life. I'm always like, I'll just ask for forgiveness later. Like, I don't know, I'm gonna do whatever I want, you know? So, but that's what they want. They want to be able to do that. They want to be able to be like, I just quit my job because I want to do things on my terms. Does that make sense?
Got it. Yes, it does.
Copy all of this, put it in a document, see if anything else flows up, post it in the group. Let's refinalize this. But I'm on. What other questions do you have?
No, I think that was it. I think once I get that, then what I speak about is just gonna be me. You know what I mean? Like I think I always get stuck on I don't want to confuse my audience.
Sometimes I really think that we cause a problem by thinking that there's a problem.
Of course.
And that might be what's going on here. You
know?
You can talk about whatever the hell you want. You're talking about ditching society standards and like living this lifestyle that they actually want to live. You know? And then it's marketing to that. It's like, okay, well, here's 3 reasons why you haven't quit your job yet. You know? Here's 3 reasons why you aren't where you want to be. You know, like here's 3 reasons why you're not living the freedom lifestyle you want to, I don't know, whatever. Like it's catering to what their pain actually is.
Okay. Their pain is definitely looking back and not doing it.
Yeah. So then talking about manifesting is perfect. Talking about, the reason why you won't be where you are is because nothing has changed, right? Talking about stuff like that. Yeah. And that's beautiful, right? And then you tie in money and things into it and you're like, well, here, if you want this lifestyle, this is what you got to do, right?
Got
so,
it.
and because you're helping them step away from what the normalcy is, right? And start to live their life on purpose, right? Get out of your normal day to day and start living your life on purpose. And maybe that's what your little tagline is, like.
I like that.
It's something you just say all the time,
Yeah. Okay.
Does this help? I know. I feel like sometimes, like we have to like really dive into this, but yeah.
It definitely helped. Thank you. It definitely helped.
Yeah. Copy all of it.
Awesome. Thank you. You're
welcome. Do you have any other questions about your message or anything?
No. I think that's it.
I think now that you're kind of more clear and you just did this podcast episode, I think you need to go back through and do, like the 3 umbrellas where it's like you talk about like your 3 main pain points, your 3 main happy points, and putting subcategories under each of them. Literally just writing as many topics as you could talk about in subject to what you do, right? In relation to what you do. Well, that's all your content that you need to write, So
you said 3 pain points, 3 happiness, and what was the other one?
They're usually just the opposite. So like, for example, mine are confidence, clarity, results. So either they're lacking confidence, clarity, and results, or they have confidence, clarity, and results.
Got it.
So they're just opposite. And then you put 10 categories, like 10 subcategories. So like one could be like, this is how, like for you, maybe it's like they dread getting out of bed because they don't want to live this normal lifestyle that they've been living for the past 5 years. Like they dread going into work to know that everything's just going to be the same, right? That could be one of the things that's the subcategory. Well, then how can you write content on that one category? Well, then you could write like I know exactly where you are. Like this is, you know what I mean? Like you could paint the vision a little bit. You could write a post. You could do three reasons why you're still feeling stuck in your life. Like you could write a post like calling them out on their shit of like nothing's gonna change if nothing changes. Does that make sense?
Got it. No, it makes total sense. I think that's exactly how I was posting. Let's say like a few weeks ago, and then I got into my own head.
Fine. Yeah. Like you can talk about whatever the hell you want. There's no cookie cutter thing that says you can only do this and you can only do that, you can only do that. And I think that like you have this fear that you're going to confuse your audience, but I think that you're just creating something that doesn't even need to be created. And there's a problem that you don't even need to create, right? And so like with that being said, it's like, we'll just speak about what you want to speak about and tell people what you help them do. Like, and just be confident in what you're telling people that you help them do. I think once you have this sentence, you'll feel a lot better. I mapped out. But I don't want you to tweak it anymore. Like run with this for a while because we had your sentence mapped out, I think like week 1 or 2.
Yes, I agree. But I like this one better. Like I said, when I speak about it, I'm confident about speaking about it. Like I can
voice yourself. Do a bunch of voice notes. Like do that and then write it, type it up.
Okay.
You know,
Awesome.
type it out later, and then as you listen, just like, you know, and see what else popped up.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
You
Awesome.
got
Thank
this.
you.
Of course.
Yay.
Who's next? Who is next? Who is next? No one? Crickets. All right, Wayne, come on. What's up?
Well, everything's going okay, I guess. I'm just kind of like
Oh,
in
I
a,
hate that. Tell me 5 good things that are going on in your life right now.
well, the invention is still going good. There's updates. She had to update some stuff.
Okay, so it's still in the works and it's still like on the right track.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm still working on the script, the movie script.
Okay, so you're working on the script that you're being paid for, right? You got that under,
Yeah.
you got that solidified?
Yeah.
And what
Yeah.
was the solidified answer? Like, what is the solidified number?
It's 10,000 up to, depending on how much is in the box office, you know, they're going with the bigger number. So it's 10,000 or the box office split. So,
Cool. And then when do you receive that?
Huh?
When do you receive that?
Whenever I'm done writing the script.
Okay, so you don't get paid until after. Okay, just curious.
Right.
But you have a contract that says that, right? You have a signed document that says, okay, that's 2 things. What's up? 3 more things.
Yeah. And then, what else? The business is going great. Getting more sales.
Cool.
It's the website is like coming together. Everything's working with that.
Okay.
What else? Oh my gosh. There's like so many things I can't keep them together.
I met an awesome friend the other day. Like that's what just amazing things happening in your life. 2 more.
Yeah. Okay. What else? My business logo is being used for the volleyball team now.
Yay! Fun! That's cool.
Yeah, like, so the volleyball team saw the shirts from the cheerleaders and they're like, we want his stuff on our stuff too. That happened just yesterday. So, and then what else? I'm trying to think. There's like so much stuff. Yeah, I'm excuse me. The patent is still getting out of that coughing fit from, yeah.
I know.
The patent, huh?
I said, I know, I feel you. I understand.
Yeah.
That's the last thing
the patent is, yeah, the patent is being processed now for the blow dryer and everything. So once I get the new designs, everything will be set up and everything. So
all right,
there's my 5, but it's just, yeah, it's just been like a little frustrating a little bit because like I was saying, I had the money, I took the money down to Rent-A-Center for my computer, and they're like, we're taking it back. Last payment, everything's paid off, but they took it. So I'm like, I can't really do all of my business from my phone. Right. So I'm like, what do I do? And like, that's the thing. It was the very last payment. And
I don't understand why they took them, and I don't know your agreement with them, and I've never rented a computer like that. I'm not sure. Did they tell you why they took it?
Well, the thing about it is like, last week I paid $80, and it's every 2 weeks. So it's every 2 weeks. I paid them $80, and then there was a $60 was like, you know, supposed to be this week. Well, supposed to be actually next week.
Okay.
But the day after I paid the $80, they were still calling like, hey, we want you to pay that $60. And I'm like, it's not due till next week. So they kept calling and calling until one day they just came to the door and took the computer. But I'm like, I have the $60. Well, we're taking it anyway. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's just weird. I'm like,
try to call the company, try to call corporate, and try to see who you can get a hold of and give them your receipts and give them your bank statements and say, listen, I paid when I thought I was supposed to. Like, I'm not really sure, but the only thing you can do here too is, you know, shift into like, if you were already the version of you who's making the money you wanted to make, like, how would you respond to the situation?
Right. Definitely call corporate because their practices are ridiculous. Yeah. So it's just that. It's just that. It's like kind of like trickling into,
so this is
affecting
letting you spiral into what's the belief system that's coming out of this?
Maybe I can't have what I want. That kind of sounds like it might be. Yeah.
Maybe I can't have what I want. Maybe like things are going good and then suddenly they're not going good again, right? Suddenly something happened. Or maybe it was too good to be true, right? Those kind of thoughts.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Kind of like what I talked about the other day in the training of energetically shifting into, becoming an energetic match for wealth. The whole point of all of it is to notice these little triggers that are triggering you. Well, these feelings, these thoughts that you just told me, they probably don't make you feel really good, right?
Right.
It's remembering that we can't attract really awesome, amazing things to us when we're not feeling our most high vibe and our most like amazing, incredible self. So it's like, that's why I wanted you right then and there to tell me right now 5 things that are going really awesome in your life right now. What are 5 things that are going really amazing? Call corporate, see what you can do. Say, hey, listen, I literally paid everything. I don't understand. This was the agreement we had. If I misunderstood it, I am sorry. I apologize. But this computer is now paid off, so I want it back, or I want to, I don't understand why this happened. I don't know because I don't know anything about that world. But you have to make sure you're protecting yourself and your mindset and how you feel, and knowing that, everything is going to work out exactly how it's supposed to, right? And so maybe who knows? Maybe a computer comes to you in a whole different way, or someone's like, hey, I have this old computer, do you want it? You know what I mean? Like something else happens, but it's you have to still hold the faith and still hold your belief system of what is meant for you. But yeah, I would have been on the phone right away, like saying, hey, what's going on? Like what happened here? But also
right.
If you already had $10,000, or let's say if you already had like $50,000 in the bank right now, would you be feeling like things, you can't have nice things, or you can't have good things, or would you be like, okay, this is a really weird thing. I mean, if not, I'll just buy myself a new computer. Like, I'll figure it out, but I'm going to go, you know what I mean? Like, what kind of thoughts would you be having? Like, what would you be thinking at that point?
Right. I'm not sure. I'm just thinking like I would just kind of let it go and just get another computer. But I'm like, it almost feels like that one thing like triggered like a whole set of negative stuff, and I'm trying to like break through it again, like a cycle. And I'm like, why does this keep happening? And like all of the clearing and everything, and like the mindset shifts and everything, and I'm like, this one thing like unlocked all of the crap that I've spent like weeks clearing out.
So here's something I know for sure. is that we go through the same thing over and over and over again because we haven't learned the lesson yet.
Right. Right.
So if you find yourself cycling, this has happened to me many times. I'm like, why am I going through this again? Or why is this happening again? Because we haven't quite learned the lesson yet. And it's not like something to beat yourself up over, but asking yourself, you know, diving into, well, what's really going on here? You know, you can do the mental exercise of like, is this thought actually true? You know, does this hold any truth anywhere? Okay. Well, do I want to believe it? Well, what do I know is true? What do I know is true, right? Stating the facts, not the feelings, right? Stating all the facts. Like, that's what I had to do right there. You just told me 5 things that are going really awesome in your life. And you told me 1 bad thing that's going on in your life. Those 5 things should trump that 1 bad thing, but you're letting that 1 bad thing trump all the good things. Does that make sense?
Right.
So when you shift into looking at all of the incredible, amazing things happening in the current moment, then it's like, it's a lot easier to keep, like I was talking about the other day, it's a lot easier to keep feeling really, really good when you're already feeling really, really good. So now we got to kind of take you back out of the rabbit hole. But first things first, go call these people. Go call them, see what's going on. Hey, what's happening? You know, like what is this situation, right? And then and just identify what the issue is, what's happening, and see if you can come up with a solution. No matter what, you got to be solution focused. Are you going to let this one thing stop you from getting to where you want to go?
Right. Okay. All right. Yeah, I had some work to do. Yeah.
It's easy to be derailed, but it's happening again for something. There's something you need to learn. And maybe it's how you deal with this, and how you deal with your emotions, and how you let yourself spiral out. How the next time it doesn't faze you as much. The next time you're like, you know what though? I am a find a way, make a way person, and I know I'm going to figure this out. So I don't even need to worry about this.
Right.
I don't even need to I don't even need to be stressed out because I know it's going to work out for the highest, greatest good of all. Because it always does.
Right.
I want you to look back at your life where this has happened before and how you got out of it, and also look at how you were always supported each and every time. Write down that evidence of how you were always supported. You guys, I remember when I used to think about this with my financial, when I would have way more month than money, way more month than money over and over and over again. And I'm like, why does this keep happening? But then I looked back and I was like, even if it wasn't the way that I thought it was going to come together, I was always supported, and I always found a way to make something happen. I always found a way to make everything, all of my bills got paid. Every single thing that I had set myself up for, all of it got paid. All of it worked out one way or another, whether it's the way I expected it to work out or not. But I always was supported. I always figured it out. Right. And just remember, you're not alone in this journey. You know, you're not alone here. You know, you've got all of us here supporting you, you know, but also you've got the universe, you've got God, you've got all of us, you know, like literally you've got your friends, you've got your family here for you. You're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a bump in the road.
Right. Yeah.
And maybe it's looking up alternatives. Is there a public library that's nearby that you can go work on their computers? You know?
Right. Yeah.
Where else could things be available to where you can make this happen? But also, it's also thinking about, does your higher version of you do business with people who do stuff like that? You know, like maybe you buy a computer off of Craigslist or something. There has to be out there, off and let go. There has to be something out there. And I don't know what your financial situation looks like in relation to being able to purchase one of those, but let's just look to see what's available. Call these people first, figure out what the hell is going on, see what solution can be created, you know?
Yeah.
Gather the evidence you need to gather for them, gather all the payment receipts, everything that you received, okay?
Right. Okay.
It's all going to work out.
And also, I'm thinking maybe I don't need that specific computer because I went in to get the computer whenever I was in the mindset of I don't have this money right now, but I can rent it. So like maybe it's like that letting go of that part. You know what I mean? Like it sounds weird, but like I think it's separating myself from that because it was.
And knowing that you can generate, I mean, one, look up how much a computer is going to cost. If you don't need anything super fancy in this current moment, I'm pretty sure some PCs, I mean, I'm personally a Mac user and but that's because I do a lot of photography and stuff and like art related based stuff. But like, if there are PCs that are really, really nice, they will get the job done, right? They'll do exactly what you need to do. You can always buy a new computer when you bring in that $10,000 or more. You know, you're going to be generating more success in your business. You know, but look up, see how much things cost, see what you can find on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, Let Go, OfferUp, what's available to you. You are worthy and deserving of owning your own computer, hands down. That is just a given. You don't need to rent a computer. That's not who you are anymore, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what it. I think that's ultimately what it was like, God and spirit was like telling me I don't need this anymore because I went in thinking I don't have the money for this right now, you know, but as my business is growing and everything, it's like separating myself from that part of needing that specific computer, if that makes any sense.
There's like, exactly. Jennifer said, wait, because I think you're on your phone, so you might not be able to read this. She said, Wayne, you rock. She also said, you've got this. She also said, getting your computer is how you're going to celebrate it. And so here's the thing too, do the Manifest Fast bundle and write down every single day for the next 5 days, 55 times, I am so grateful and excited for my brand new computer. I am so grateful and excited for my brand new computer. Guys, you can get a computer in a lot of ways. You could also have like $2,000 in sales this week. Why not?
Right.
Buy yourself a new computer.
Yeah.
You know? And here's the beautiful thing is a new computer is a tax write-off on your business.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
This is just a bump in the road, but I want you to learn here is that it doesn't mean anything about you. And I think maybe that's the bigger lesson here. Is what did I make it mean instantly when this happened? And is that actually
okay? All right. Right. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's all. That's all. Is just that like one like a little thing, but yeah.
Do you feel like you have a plan now?
Okay.
You know what you need to go do? Because is that the biggest hurdle is we got to get you a computer?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And maybe it's asking.
But I know what I need to do now.
Sorry, go ahead. I think we're lagging.
Oh, I was just saying that I know what I need to do now.
Okay. So work through this, knowing that you're incredibly amazing.
Yeah.
We got to get you to a place where you're feeling really good again, right? Just feeling really on fire, feeling really confident, feeling really amazing, feeling incredible. It's easy for good things to happen when you're feeling good, and it's really easy for more bad things and for us to point out all of the bad things that happen when we're not feeling so good, right? And so I would do the Manifest Fast workbook, like that whole little section there. Even if you don't print it out, it's fine. Just do 55, 5 days of 55, and then literally write it down every single day. A computer can come to you in a lot of ways, like even asking your family and your friends, hey guys, is there a computer that I could borrow? Making sure, like maybe go look at the library and then set your mind on creating the income that you need to just buy your computer. But go see if you can figure out what's happening here, especially if you paid the last payment, then I would think that it would be yours to own. But if you violated some kind of a contract, I don't know what they have legally if they're able to do. I don't know,
Right.
But they might be able to tell you. They might be able to tell you what happened.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right.
There are so many good things happening, okay? So let's focus on what's really awesome and focus on where you want to go, not what you don't want to happen.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Okay. All right. And then I think that Terry wanted to talk next. And then whoever else wants to claim. Hi, Terry. Where'd you go? Oh, wait, there you are. Hi.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so I'm kind of stuck and not sure how to flip the situation around. So I have, announced to the world, hey guys, I'm coaching, da-da-da. And I've got a couple of strategy calls,
Awesome.
my Moxie Girl Gang strategy calls, as I call them, and they're actually working out. They're working out well, but not. So we've had these strategy calls, and, people have been like, okay, well, let me get back to you. And I'm like, okay, because I don't want to pressure anybody. I get it. However, when they get back to me for my VA services. They've gone and looked at my website and so on and so forth, right? They'll purchase one of my VA services. Great, wonderful. However, I'm still coaching them while I am doing VA services. And I have to find a way to separate that. Like, a lot of people are being drawn to me again for my VA services. My VA business is doing really, really well. My coaching, yeah, not so much, except for what I'm coaching while I'm working.
Because if all we've really done is introduce ourselves and say, hey, we're doing this thing, then we haven't done all we can do to actually have a successful business. Right?
Right. No. I'm showing up, I am being present. I'm in a couple of the groups that I'm in, which I'm not even sure they're really ideal groups anymore. And that's another problem that I'm having, is finding those groups for my target coaching people. I want to coach women who are transitioning. So, and what I mean by transitioning is they're going from corporate to entrepreneurship, or a lot of women who come to me are, they're like in their midlife crisis, almost, in a sense. They get that empty nest syndrome going on. They want to look for something better, don't want to go back to corporate America, those kind of things.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. So, and I work with women. I primarily work with women who like to think outside the box. They don't want to be cookie cutter with everybody else. Right. That's how my VA business is. Those are women I work well with. Those are women I want to coach. I'm clear on all that. But again, it's separating the coaching aspect from the VA aspect, because my coaching prices are obviously much different than my VA services prices. And that's where I'm getting kind of...
So how are they even finding out that you're a VA? Are you telling them on the phone?
No. But they'll go to my website, and my website offers all of my services on there.
Well, then you need to have two separate websites. They're two separate
businesses. I was afraid you were going to say that.
You also don't need a website, right? Like, you don't need a website, but if that's the problem, then they're two separate businesses. They're not the same business. They're not like, hey, I could also coach you, but then here's a VA service, here's this, and here's this, and here's this. That doesn't make any sense, right? That's just your VA stuff. But you don't need a website for coaching. I'm just saying, if that's part of the problem, then you either need two websites or take all the other stuff off. Right.
No, and I don't want to take the other stuff off, because right now the VA services is what's supporting my, my.
I'm saying take the coaching.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I could do that.
Because they're not together. So then people are like, oh, is it together? And then I can see why people are getting confused, because then they're just two different businesses. They're just completely different, separate things, honestly.
Right.
So
I get it.
So how is the conversation going? Because you can close clients. You've signed like 6 clients in like a couple of days, like within this past.
Yeah, no, I have to be honest. In this past 6 weeks, VA clients, I have closed a total of 10 of them.
Okay, so obviously you can close clients. So what's happening here when you're having a conversation about coaching?
I'm not exactly sure. That's the problem, because, you know, when I'm talking to these women, and again, most of the women that are drawn to me are women who are, you know, aspiring, and I hate using that word because I feel it's overused, but they're looking to step into entrepreneurship, and that's what I do. You know, and so I point out my IBM formula that I work with them through, which is, you know, your ideal client, your branding, your marketing. Those are like the 3 corner keystones of what I'm helping them do. If they can't find their ideal client, if they can't figure out their branding or their marketing, how are they going to launch? You know? Yeah. And like with Jennifer, you know, all that other aspects, the confidence, the mindset and all that, that comes into it as well, because we all need it. I get that. So, you know, we discussed that. We discussed where they want to go, what goals they want to make. Now, I have turned down a couple of them because I knew we wouldn't work well together. Just something about their attitude. They were really kind of negative. Like everything I threw at them for a suggestion, they were just,
yeah,
you know,
they weren't your people.
Yeah, they weren't my people.
Yeah, blessed and released.
Exactly. You know, so we have this strategy call. I give them a few things to, you know, think about, point out to them that they could potentially do. And, you know, towards the end, we discuss what my pricing is. I feel that my pricing is actually really low.
Was it a hell yes? What were they 100% set on working with you before you went over your programs?
Yes.
Yes, they were, or yes, I didn't realize that.
Yes, they were. Yes, okay. They were.
Okay, so then you go over your programs, not your pricing.
Right.
You go over the program.
Not my pricing. Right. I go over my programs, and they're still geared. They're like, yes, I want to do this.
Okay.
And even before I get to my pricing, that's typically when they bring up, I don't have the money. You know, that's been the biggest thing. They come up to me and say, you know, I really want to do this. And before I even touch upon what it's going to cost them, you know, they're like, well, I know I have to talk to other coaches, and I know, you know, one-on-one coaching is going to be expensive, or group coaching, all that you're offering is going to be expensive. And my prices are actually really low compared to other coaches. But I, you know, even if I get to that point, by that point, they've already turned themselves off because of pricing before they've heard pricing. Does that make sense?
Sure. But in some way in your messaging, you're attracting these people to you.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere it's in your messaging. And often everything we're doing is something that we're battling with ourselves. Like, right? Like everything is a mirror. So if you held up a mirror to your life and looking, and maybe it's not really about money for you, but maybe it's about something else. Maybe it's like, oh, I didn't allow myself to do this thing because of something.
Right.
So in your messaging somewhere, you're attracting really broke people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's something to be
aware of. So I got to flip my message. Right. And I get that. I understand that. I just
have a 9 to 5 and they're transitioning. They shouldn't be broke. They should easily have the money.
That's what I thought. Yes. You know, that's the way I look at it.
Are all these people that you're talking to, do they currently have a job, or do they not have a job?
Most of them do. Some of them don't. They've already stepped into some form of starting out entrepreneurship. Or again, I had 2 women I spoke to who are like in that midlife crisis part. So they're just trying to figure things out.
Yeah. But they should have a job. They should be.
Well, no, they're like, their kids have left the house. They're empty nesting type thing. You know, they were at home moms for so long, and now they're not.
No, when someone wants something bad enough, they find a way to make it happen 110%. It doesn't matter if you are broke.
I agree.
Pile of poop. You can figure everything out in an instant. People could sell their car to do something like this. So
right.
What I think is happening here in your call somewhere is that this either doesn't feel like a hell yes for them, really. Like maybe they're like leading it to like, yeah, this sounds great. So either it's, they can't see how it's actually going to be for them. They can't see themselves actually achieving it, or they can't see themselves actually doing what you say they're going to do, Or it could be something like you haven't properly explained what exactly is about to happen. Or, you know, like part of it is like on us, part of it's on them. But if they're already coming into this with a mindset that I can't afford it, which, I mean, here's the thing. I'm glad that you're getting people on the phone with you. But also I don't understand the whole let me think about it. There's definitely none of that. Like, what do you need to think about? Like, either this is a hell yes or it's a no. So, like, part of this is you overcoming some of the objections.
Right.
And, like, sometimes I haven't had someone come to me and say I need to think about it in a really long time. But if I did, I honestly would think, like, you know, I honestly would probably say, like, okay, what do you need to think about? Like,
right.
Usually I think people say that when there's a bigger question that is not answered, that has not been answered. So what question have you not asked me?
Right.
Or, and then they'll be like, well, I actually don't really think this is the right program for me. And then I'm like, all right, fine, bye. Like, you know, like, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, right. or they're like, well, I'm just not sure if I have the money. Or then they come up and be like, well, I don't, and then the real shit pops up. It's never the first thing people throw. It's never the first thing people throw.
It's usually the second, third, and fourth, and so forth.
You need to maybe be a little bit more bold on your sales call at the end.
Okay.
I asked you that question earlier because I'm curious to if part of what's happening here is you're really confident. You're really, really confident in your VA business as you know what you can help people with. In your coaching business, are you lacking a little bit of that confidence to actually sign the client?
I think I might. And it's weird because I've coached people before. I worked with one lady who within 3 weeks had her business not only up and running,
perfect. That's a beautiful
but being really
be able to
successful.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Right. And you know, she's one of those, like, she told me, if you ever need to refer me, have them, you know, come to me for, you know, a reference or anything, I'll be happy to do that for you. So I'm wondering if it's just because I'm trying to focus into this full time and it's still, I don't want to say murky water, but it's still, it's not as comfortable as my VA business. Like, I remember going through this with my VA business. I do. And then once it just got to a point where it was that mind shift switch. So maybe that's what I'm just facing right now is I'm waiting for is that shift hasn't happened yet. That could be it. I don't know.
So how can you generate that shift yourself?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm thinking it'll help the more I go through the coaching program with these clients, you know, with these people, these women. So for instance, I obviously needed help with my VA business. I offered an internship for my VA business where I would coach them. In return, they'd work for me in my business, right, for 30 days. So they were getting something from me. It was almost like a barter. They were getting coaching from me and, you know, experience as a VA. And I think as I only did it twice. I got 2 interns right now. I won't do it anymore. But in return, you know, they'll either sign on as one of my team members for my Moxie business, but they also give a reference, you know, for my coaching side. And vice versa, you know.
Process, but what is the actual belief that's being put in your head because you're doing that? Here's the thing, you can't actually trade a service like that because it's more than just what I'm teaching you. It's like, it's really hard to explain. It's like, that's like almost trading hours for like knowledge and value and energy. It's different.
Right.
Okay that you're doing it right now. That's fine. Do what you got to do. But I don't want the belief system to be that I have to do this, otherwise I can't coach people. Or like I'm not worthy of being paid with my coaching business. I only sign clients with my VA business, not my coaching business. Do we see what I'm saying?
I gotcha. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. And it might be something
a lot of tricks. There's a lot happening back here, right? And so I just don't want things to flip through to where
Right.
that becomes a belief system, and then you have all this evidence that shows that you're 100% worthy of being paid. If you haven't found your client yet, okay, keep going. Keep going.
Right.
Keep going. Get better. Get
Right.
better. Get better. How can I get better? How can I have a better sales call? How could I sell this
Right.
better? What could I have said that I didn't say this time that next time I'm going to say? Also, I think I'm still lost on the where did we end the call and where did we ended the call, they got on your website, they purchased from you, they followed up, and now you're doing both? That's where I'm confused. Like, what happened?
Right. Okay.
For hell yes, let me think about it. Is that what they said?
Yeah. Well, no, some of them were like, they just flat out said, I can't afford this right now. I had one woman who said that I need to discuss this with my husband because of, that amount of money. Okay.
Respectable. I get it. Right. You get that.
Right. Right. Those are typically around the excuses I get. And of course, they see me.
On the confidence sales call, unless I can go through them real quick too, if you want me to tell you how I would have responded to these objections. But have you watched the objection handling on the confidence sales call, like that video that I kind of leave you all?
I believe so. I think I got to go back and look at it.
Okay. The husband one is probably the one you're going to have the most with the age reference that you are attracting to you. Okay. And so when it's one of those things that personally, I don't officially understand it fully. Like, I don't have a husband. I don't have anybody that I have to check in with my finances. Like, I can kind of do whatever I want. I'm still going to probably have that mentality when it comes to having a relationship, but I might just let them know what I'm about to do. Like, hey, I'm about to drop $10,000, just so you know, because that's obviously the conversation you need to have. But what I always like to say in that current situation is like, hey, listen, I totally understand and respect your decision and wanting to do this. I love that you guys are open and honest about your finances. That's incredible. Here's what I know is true is that, and I say, usually, because if it's about a husband, obviously that's a man. Well, if it's a girl, it doesn't matter, right? I would just tweak whatever that is, right? Because,
right.
But what I would say about the husband is the men in our lives like to be very, very protective. And so if this is not a complete hell yes, and you don't feel really confident in this, they're going to seek that. They're going to feel that. If you go to them and you're a little bit uneasy or you're not sure, or you're not confident in this decision, they're going to feel that and they're instantly going to shut down and say no, because they're taking the pressure off of you. And then, they just are there to protect you. And so I said, is there any other lingering questions? Or does this feel like a hell yes? Like, do you have any other questions? Are you really confident in going to do this and going to have a conversation?
Right.
And then maybe I'll say, do you want to explore where money could come from already? So you can go to him with ideas, right?
Right.
And I just like ask the comment, just make sure they feel really, really good, Like, and I make sure,
right.
What do they think their life is going to look like working together, Why is this a perfect fit? Why is this a hell yes for you? Like, like if it's not, then it's like moving on, So
right.
I think a lot of it's probably practicing just having the conversation. But also, number 2, you got to set some more boundaries on what you're available and not available for when it comes to your VA business.
Yep.
Hey, Sally, this is something I really help my coaching clients with. I love working with you and helping you in your business to help you scale. But if you want to discuss anything other than just our duty, just saying something like that, if you want to discuss marketing in your business, I'd love to get on the phone with you and do a package deal with you so we can include some coaching as well as VA work.
Right.
What works best for you?
I got it.
Friday.
Right. No, that makes perfect sense.
About her friend. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so I got a clear idea of what I need to do now.
Keep going. But also let's check in on your messaging and kind of look at like what's happening here. What's going on here where I'm attracting people who don't have the money? I attracted a shit ton of people when I first started because I didn't have the money. And it's probably because I talked a lot about my being on food assistance. And I still talk about it, choosing to believe that I attract people who are only ready to make a difference in their life because that's where I was. But before, maybe I didn't have that declaration, right? And so then I attracted a ton of people who just wanted a bunch of free shit. And I'm like, okay. And so then I just had to be more clear and work on my messaging. to where I was messaging towards that specific person, you know?
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Okay, no, that makes sense because I think that's what my problem probably is.
You have testimonials.
Because, you know, like
celebrate the success you've seen, you know? Celebrate how you've signed 10 clients in 6
Yeah.
weeks. That's amazing.
Right. Thank you. And it's funny because it's not people that I hustled for. You know, these people just randomly found me and went from there. So, you know.
Show yourself how easy it is for you to sign new clients and
Right.
tell yourself, you know what, coaching is just the same. Coaching is just the same. My ideal clients come to me with ease, and it just happens. And then I just find beautiful people, and then they just sign up with me, and it's awesome. You know?
Right. So I do want to share a win with you guys real quick.
Yay!
And it's not really my win, but it is. My husband and my son have opened their own shop, mechanic shop, within the last week. And according, you know, with the branding that I've done for them and all that, they're actually being really successful. And I'm kind of jealous.
So exciting! That's awesome.
Yeah, so I have to split my time now because I also have to help with them until we can find somebody to come work the shop, you know, but it doesn't stop me from doing what I got to do in a day. I just take my laptop with me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but you know, it's fun and I'm, you know, I figure it's a win for the whole family. I'm excited about it.
100%. And who knows how much you inspired them by doing your own thing.
Right. Right. My husband actually, that's what my husband said was, you know, I'm tired of working this and I hear you talk about this all the time. So how can we make this happen?
Ah, beautiful. That's
Oh my God. What we need to do.
That is so awesome.
Can I use my husband as a reference?
Well, I mean, it's like you can talk about this. I talk about everything. I don't know. I talk about all the things. I'm like, I don't know. Yesterday I went to drink wine and Facebook and Instagram broke and I still made money. I'll probably talk about that today. I don't know. Like, it's like, like, okay, what happened? So I came back and I was like, so something happened? I don't know what's going on. Like,
yeah, you know, it's funny. I was working on a client, Facebook ads when Facebook broke.
yeah.
And of course,
Right.
you know, I'm like, oh, Facebook's glitchy.
We all understand.
Ads are glitchy as it is. Yeah, you know, and I'm sorry.
Keep going.
Oh, so it was you know, it was fun to. I have a website page that I look up on Facebook. I promise with Facebook, and of course they're like they described it as outages. They had Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp outages all day long, and it's still not 100% today. Just so that y'all know, it is still not 100% today. They haven't fixed the initial problem.
Everything will work out exactly.
Lots of fun stuff. That's it for me, and I'm actually going to have to jump off. I have to get on a discovery call. Wish me luck, guys.
Boom.
I'm going to. Talk to y'all later.
All right. We'll celebrate it later. Bye. All right. Who is next? Miss Sierra Shella, do you guys have anything you'd like to talk about or share? Is that a yes, Sierra? I don't know. I can't hear you. Oh, there it is. Now I hear you. I don't know why there's a lag with your microphone.
Oh, weird.
Or maybe it's the whole thing. Maybe the whole thing is lagging.
Yeah, I think right now is just me going through kind of just doing the steps of everything. I'm going to be running a low-priced masterclass webinar next week. So I'm getting everything together for that. I've got an interview that I'm doing Friday for one of my former clients.
That's awesome. Yay!
I'm, extending sale prices, and I'm having lots of conversations with people. So I'm getting a lot of really good feedback as far as the different stuff that like I'm putting out there, that people are like loving the content, that like they're super excited
Well,
about.
of course they are. You don't even need to get feedback back for that. Like, of course they are, right? Because you're like, I'm brilliant. Of course I'm here helping people, right?
I actually had someone say that they got more out of my free course than they did in a course that they took that was valued over $1,000. And I was
okay. So then why aren't they your client yet?
She's figuring out her finances. I told her that I would hold the price for her until next Monday, which is a couple days after everybody else. So, but she's someone who like talks to me like all the time, and this has been a longer sales process. So
yeah, awesome, yay!
It went for her. So yeah, I mean, I think my only thing is so far in this particular launch, I'm not seeing as much engagement as I have previously in other launches, and I'm not quite sure what the issue is. I have more professional photos. I'm writing about the same type of content. There's a couple things that I need to switch up. I'm trying to play with different times as far as like morning, afternoon, a little bit further in the evening. I'm just not quite sure what's not connecting. I think that's probably just a trial and error thing until I figure out.
And are you connecting with people privately as well? Like adding new people on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm adding new people on Facebook. And like, I'm trying to be as genuine as I can about the conversations. Typically, like in times before, I would, if the conversation kind of lagged and it seemed like it wasn't really going anywhere, I would invite them to my Facebook group, which sometimes they join and sometimes they wouldn't. I've kind of left that off, and I'm just saying, are you in my group yet, every time that I go live, and more talking about it on my personal page.
Yeah.
Organic. Because the people who are currently in my group are not necessarily my target market now. So I'm trying to attract people to me more that way. So, I mean, I guess right now it's just a matter of just doing the work and then just seeing things happen.
A lot of, you guys, sometimes being a how personality and like wanting to know how this is going to happen and what it's going to work out and when it's going to happen and blah, blah, blah. Trusting plays a lot into everything we're talking about today, you know? Just trusting that it's going to work out, because of course it is, and it's going to come, and that your success is inevitable, and that it's just doing new things. What else could I do? What could I do? What could I do? And so some of it, maybe make a list. I want you to make a list of, what's the goal? What's the goal for March? It's only the 14th. We have 15, 20 days. I don't know. How many days do we have left? 18?
My goal for March is 10 people in my group and 3 one-on-one clients.
Okay, so let's focus on 3 one-on-one clients. Okay, well, what is 10 ways that you can get people on the phone? Because with a one-on-one client, it probably needs to be a phone conversation, right?
Yeah.
So 10 ways you can get people on the phone. So list them out to me right now.
Free call post.
Okay.
A private conversation from, like, if they've commented on something else of mine. And
sure, so like personal connection, and then get them on the phone that way. Yeah.
Personal connection. I've been offering, as like part of the end of like the live videos that I'm doing, I'm telling people, you know, go ahead, book a call with me, free strategy sessions.
Yeah, so going live. Yeah, going live with a call to action of booking a free call. Yes. What else?
I mean, I have things set in place for like CTAs for people to book calls with me that are just kind of static, that are just there. So like the link tree on my Instagram, there's a free call like announcement bar on my website, but I'm not really expecting anything from that. If it happens, great, but I'm not I'm not putting stock in that, because there's
the link tree on your Instagram.
Yeah.
So that means that you could do an Instagram story showing people exactly how to do that and what they're going to get out of it.
Instagram, I'm still working on getting up completely. But I did spend 3 hours the other day researching hashtags, so.
Woo! Okay. Where are we at? 4 or 5?
4. Other than just telling people like, hey, I'd love to offer you like a free brand evaluation. I did that with somebody who, like I was asking for a photo from a review that she'd done for me before, and was like, hey, I'm seeing as you've rebranded, I'd love to, do a free brand eval. And she was like, yeah, sure. So other than just offering it, like, I don't know.
So, okay, you could do a giveaway and have people enter into a giveaway. You could, I'm trying to think of what else you can do. You could do a webinar. You're gonna do that anyways. Do a webinar. You could do another live training event. Also just like free call posts, but you could do like just regular value posts and then leave your link at the bottom. You could do that. Email, do you have an email list yet?
I'm building.
Send out an email? Yeah. Okay, we'll do another one. Yeah, you could follow up with 20 people, like people that you've talked to in the past. Follow up with a bunch of people, and you can follow up with 5 people. How are we at? What are we at?
10.
So then now, okay, what excites me the most to do today? What can I focus on? What's my next step? And then it's trying to do all those 10 things as soon as possible. Knowing that, of course, when you do those 10 things, you're going to have multiple people on your books.
Yeah, I've got one today.
A sales call?
One today, one Monday, and then 2 Tuesday.
Awesome. So let's try to get at least 5 more calls on your books. At least 5 to 10 for the rest of this month.
I want 20 to 25 sales calls for this month. So
well, how many have you done so far?
5.
Okay. And then you have like 5 on your books?
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 on my books right now, but I've got several people who I've like offered the call to, and they're like, "Yeah, I'll schedule next week."
Yeah, follow up with them. Reach out to them and be like, "Hey, was there an issue with the schedule?"
Yeah, and I'm still following up with quite a few people, and it's going. I'm trying to rebrand my brain with faith, trust, and pixie dust because.
Well, here's the thing. You have all of this evidence that people are really, really loving your stuff, right? So, and then also, like, what are you focusing on? Do you want one-on-one clients, or you're trying to get them into this program? Right? Because that's what what was the goal of the 3-day?
The 3-day was to get the group program.
Group program.
Right. Because that was my less than $500 deal.
Mm-hmm. Right, and so you have some people thinking about that. So that's the thing, though, is your brain was trying to maybe focus on that. So you haven't really been available to open up to be focusing on other things, too. So just reshift your focus. And here's the thing. You could sign 3 clients in one day. But you have to hold the belief that that's still what's happening. So, like, decide that it's happening, and then hold the belief that that's, of course, what's happening this month.
Okay.
And then keep getting people on the phone. You already have a sales call today. So, like, sign your first client tonight, sign your next client tonight. You've got this. You can sign clients in like a second.
I do. It's just a matter of I haven't sold the coaching thing before. So I think that might be something that's in my head.
Well, also thinking about how is the conversation going? Kind of like I was talking to Terry. How's the conversation going? Where's the holdup? Where's the non-yes? Where's the non-sign up?
Yeah, it's honestly right now, I'm talking to people that I feel like are probably broke. I know that happened with at least two of them, because they were already in my group, but they're not necessarily my ideal client now. So when talking to them, like, I kind of know the situation. I'm going to pitch them on it anyway. But
well, yeah, here's the thing. People can find ways to make things happen.
Yeah.
And then don't be afraid to explore it with them. And the only people that I like, the only time where it gets to be where it's like, okay, I ran out of ideas, like you don't have anything available, like, and then it becomes hard, then I just kind of keep them close. And because here's the thing, people could utilize your free stuff if they did and see results. People could utilize some of the free stuff that I talk about. And if they utilized it and implemented it, they could see results.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's them deciding that that's what's going to happen. And then you just keep showing up, you keep showing up, you keep showing up. It then becomes more of a hell yes for them, a hell yes for them, hell yes for them. They're going to find a way to figure it out.
Yeah.
But they just could not be your people. And so then we just keep moving on, right? And just knowing and trusting, I know my people are coming. I know my people are coming. I know my client is coming. I know my client is coming. They're going to be here. They're going to be here. They're going to see me. Everything I post in this space, every single day that I post, my content lives on forever, and people see it and then they want to work with me. You know, it's having those belief systems. Every time you post something, it lives on forever and people find it randomly every day.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, keep making sure you're maybe adding like 10 people a day at least, 10 to 20 people a day.
Okay.
And then going live, just doing the work you need to do. And here's the thing is that sometimes you don't always see the success really fast, but it's the accumulation of doing the things, then success, it like piles up at the end. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think one of the mental blocks that I probably have right now is I think that I have to get people probably into the group course so that they can see what it is like to work with me before they'll pay the higher price.
But that's just not true.
Yeah.
But if you believe it to be true, that's what's going to be true for you.
Yeah.
I have people pay me like a lot of money without even knowing me whatsoever. We just had a really great sales call and I showed them how I could help them and they were like, okay, let's work one-on-one. One of my most recent clients, actually, she had never even listened to my podcast. She just saw me in different Facebook groups, and she was like, "Hey, I just wanted to know what your coaching looked like." And we got on the phone, and then she signed up for me work with me one-on-one. That can happen, but you have to start telling yourself that can happen. You have to believe that it can happen.
Yeah. Okay.
You've got this. You've totally got this. You know, it's going to come through, but you have to believe it. And so then you have to kind of start noticing when am I losing certainty and what's happening there that I'm losing the certainty of knowing that I'm going to hit my goal. You know, and how do I get back to being certain that this is going to happen? Maybe showing yourself all the times that you've done this before. It's not any different in you selling. But maybe you got to remind yourself how amazing you are as a coach already. Plus, you just had all this evidence right here that you just told me about last week that you're like, yeah, they love this, they got so much value, and it was incredible, and it was amazing, and it was awesome, and it's and then, well, duh, of course it is. Maybe it means we just need to focus on growing, right? It's the constant focus on growing. Let's keep doing the work. Let's hold the belief. Let's keep focused on growing. Let's do the work. Let's hold the belief, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But go send a client today. Does she seem like an ideal client from her?
I haven't done the research on her stuff yet. She signed up for a free call on one of my free call posts. So I do the research probably about 30 to 15 minutes before to dig through all of their stuff online to see where they could probably need my help.
But don't you have them fill out questions?
I do have them fill out questions, but then I go back and I double check and figure out where their issues are.
So right when they book it, before you confirm it, I would read through the questions first and make sure they seem like an ideal client before you even like approve and officially book the call.
I don't know how you do that. Because I use Calendly, so they book it on my calendar.
Well, yeah, but then I just cancel it. Like if they tell me that like they're just looking for free and low price stuff, I have an email that I send them and I say like, that's so great. This is really for people who are, you know, being qualified to work with me one-on-one, or who are ready to jump into a program. I send them my podcast. I send them my free stuff. I send them the link to where they could buy the low priced offers. And then I cancel the call. Or I'll try to reach out to them and say like, hey, I want to make sure I can actually help you because this is what you said.
So you do that even if you do like a, hey, I'm giving away free strategy sessions.
Yeah, it's not going to serve me or them if they're not an ideal client and if I can't help them. It doesn't serve someone for them to just get on the phone with me just to have a chat for 30 minutes if we're not an ideal fit. Or if I look at their questionnaire and I'm like, I have no idea what this person needs or how to help them, I'm not going to get on the phone with them. I might lead them to someone else. Like I might reach out to them and say, hey, I want to make sure you know exactly what I do. Make sure that's really clear. And then let me know what you're struggling with and let me know if there's anything else that we can talk about. But otherwise, I'm not sure it's the best idea for us to get on the phone.
Okay. Yeah, because currently in like all of my questions, I have like, what's your biggest, like your top 3 struggles right now? What goals do you want to hit immediately? 6 months, 12 months? Give me all the social links and the stuff that you use for your marketing. Tell me about your marketing process. And then like I talk about like their struggles and like they have a check marks like that they have to show up within 10 minutes, but I don't have any questions on there about, are you looking for free stuff or...
Well, you don't necessarily have to right now because you're just in the process of having sales conversations around this new thing. Eventually we can get you to the point where you do put that up. Or eventually if you get upset and you're frustrated about it, then put it up, you know? But I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I can literally look at the answers that they did the questions. Even if I didn't have that, do you have the income or are you prepared to invest or do you not have the money? Even if I didn't have that question, I can look at all of their answers and know if they're an ideal client or not, and know if I can actually help them. Because if I can help them, then I can tell them, oh my God, I can help you. This is incredible. Like, yes, let's do this.
Okay. So pulling up her thing.
So Wayne said, yeah, like one person wrote in my survey, what items don't you like? Social injustice and bullying. Next. Okay, I don't really know. Yeah, okay. But that makes no sense. Yeah, that's a really weird answer for that question. But yeah, you just like, okay, like, I'm not going to get on the phone with someone if I'm like, I have no idea what you do or how to help you. That's just not, that is not serving them either.
Yeah, no, like looking at the questions, like I just went over it right now. Like I know that I can help her.
Beautiful.
She's like just starting her like coaching business.
So maybe you add in a question on there is how serious are you about a 1 to 10 scale of 1 to 10? How serious are you about, running after your dream? You know what I mean? Or something like that. I would make it more towards what you've got going on, right? How serious are you about this? Out of what scale of 1 to 10? 1, I'm cool where I am. 10, I'm ready to make this happen. Because then you can bring that back into the conversation. Hey, you know what? I know you put down that you are a 10. Like you are ready to make this happen. Why do you think you haven't been able to do that on your own?
Okay. Yeah, because the questions I have right now, like in the actual sales call, I take care of that like on the sales call, but maybe I need to shift that a little forward to give me more leverage. Because right now what I'm asking is, okay, so what are your goals? What are the struggles that you coming up against that have kept you from hitting that? And why is right now the absolute best time for you to take care of this?
You can always say it again.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I get on the phone with people and they're like, oh yeah, I told you my questionnaire. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I read all of it. I have it written down, but I want to have a conversation with you. I want to know you. Like, I want to know your quirks and your personality. Like, just tell me again, like, and so, okay, how are these conversations going? Are they leading to a hell yes, or where are they leading to?
Well, typically the way that I have it set up is like I start at the beginning and say like, hey, so I've read over your questionnaire, I've done your evaluation, but I do want to hear from you because typically when you're talking it out, more stuff comes up. So, and then we go over like, what are the goals that they want to hit? Like, where are they at in their business right now? Like, where do you want to focus?
Right.
What are the struggles?
Yeah.
And kind of go through that. And then after I figure out like what they're struggling with and why they've been hitting those issues, then I'll pull up, okay, so from your evaluation, these are the things that I found of the issues that I see. So maybe you would need to focus, give a couple suggestions, and then say, like ask them if they have any questions about what I said. And then from there, it's, okay, so based on our conversation, like I actually think that I could really help you, and I like your vibe. So since we're
well, first of all, I don't ever want you to say I think I can help you.
Okay.
Cut. If I told you, Sierra, if I told you I think I can help you, what does that tell your brain?
That is a possibility.
Yes. But if I come to you and say, you know what? I know I can help you with this. You remind me of my client, Sally. And when we first started together, this is where she was and this is where she is now. She's a very similar story to you. And this is what we did together. And here's what I'd like to do with you. I'd like to start here. And then from there, we do, right? And when we put all of this together, there is no reason why you couldn't have what they said they wanted.
Okay.
Sorry, keep going though. But get rid of I think I can help you. I know I can help you with this. Oh my God, this is so exciting. Like I don't always tell people I can help them, but like I would say, and I used to say something like, if I didn't believe I could help you, I would never, ever tell you I could. But I know I can help you with this. Gotta be a little bit more bold. Because it might just be the close. It sounds like your sales call's going really, really well. Well, then it's a close. Well, then it's like, well, you told me this was a hell yes. You told me that this was a non-negotiable, right? And then.
Yeah. So from there, it transitions into, so there's a couple different ways to work with me based off of our conversation and where I feel like you're really struggling. This is what I think would probably work best for you. And package, is it okay if I go into detail on that? And usually they're like, yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then I detail like what's all involved.
Mm-hmm.
And I ask them if they think that could like
Mm-hmm.
get where they want to be. And then they're like, well, yeah, of course it could. Okay, perfect. So on a scale of 1 to 10, like, how are you feeling about?
So instead, okay, back up. Instead of saying, do you think this could get you to where you want to be, have them visualize and say, okay, so if we work together for the next 6 months, like, why is this actually a good fit for you? What could your life look like in 6 months with us working together? What could your business look like in 6 months with us working together? Have them tell you what they think is possible. Right? It's one thing when I say something to you, but when you say something out loud, that means everything. When we hear ourselves say something, that means even more. But I always like to have them qualify themselves. Why do you feel like we're a perfect fit? Why am I the perfect fit? And why do you love this program? Why is this the perfect fit for you? Because if they're like, I don't know, then I'm like, okay, well, then I'm not going to tell you the price. Like, I'm not going to talk about anything. Like, okay, like, why do you feel that way? You know, like, that's weird. Like, I'm not going to work with someone who doesn't feel like it's a perfect fit, you know?
Okay. Because that's where I tend to get tripped up is like, okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, like from hell yes, you're my girl, I want to work with you, to I'm not really feeling this at all, where are you at? And they'll say like they're a 6 or a 7. And then I ask why, and like what the issue there is, that, well, I don't know price yet. And so I kind of like.
And so something I'd probably say, here's the thing, 6 is kind of low. But I think maybe if you just kind of tweak a few things in your sales calls, it might help that. And then I know I can help you. Sometimes if they would say like, I don't know, it depends on the pricing. I usually typically say right then and there, listen, if you're going to be shopping on price, then you're going to have a rude awakening one day. Like that's the honest truth. Like here's what I found is that when I shopped on price, I regretted it instantly. But when I find my soulmate people that I am so excited to work with, I see so much more results because I'm excited to do the thing. It doesn't matter the pricing, right? And so here's the thing. And then I would ask them maybe like, I would kind of bring it back to like, how badly do you want to receive this, right? Like, here's the thing, and sometimes I ask monetary wise, if it's because you're going to be helping clients make more money, right? In some sense. So I'll ask, okay, well, with what we laid out for you and how we set out your goals, monetary wise, what do you think you could generate? What kind of ROI could you generate in 3 months of us working together? And then they're like putting in their head, well, this is what I could create. This is what I could make. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. But here's the thing. This is what I always say too. I say something along the lines. It really depends on the person. I don't like have the perfect cookie cutter. It really depends on who it is and how our conversation went. I usually say it does not serve me or you to tell you my price point right now without this being a hell yes. So are there any questions or any concerns, not dealing with money, of why this isn't a hell yes yet? What questions do you have about the program, about what it's like to work with me? How can I make this feel like more of a hell yes? How can I help you get to a 10? And then we could discover pricing because money is available everywhere. Money is easily findable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you're just requalifying it back to a hell yes. Or they'll give you another objection.
Okay.
Cool?
All right. Yeah.
Makes sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
I think it's just tweaking a little bit of it. Let's see how it goes tonight, and then let me know. Okay? Let me know what happens. But yeah, just start tweaking a little bit of the words you use and how you say you can help them and everything too. A lot of that is how you show up and how you confidently say, I know I can help you. You remind me of so-and-so.
Right. Okay.
All right. Miss Shella, how are you? I'm unmuting you. Come back. Why isn't it working? There it goes.
I had to unmute on my end too.
Oh, you're both clicking it. It's like when you try to open the door and they're trying to unlock the door and you're like, ah, like.
It was like there's a lock on both sides. You unmuted me, but it still said I had to unmute myself.
You're like,
I've had some really bad days recently. And so my mindset's been really bad. Yesterday I was like, okay, I'm gonna get some work done, and that was when Facebook went haywire and Instagram were not, so I couldn't get anything done. Yeah. And that kind of bothered me. So honestly, the biggest thing I've accomplished the last few days is beating the 3rd gym leader in Pokemon.
Is being the what?
Beating the 3rd gym leader in Pokemon.
Cool.
That's the biggest thing I've accomplished the last few days. Kind of embarrassing to say. I've been dealing with my past haunting me. I've been like having to catch myself. Why am I thinking about that? Why am I thinking about that? You know, and I mean, it's like constant, like 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day. Why am I thinking about these? You know, and it's always like the bad.
Did you figure out what triggers you? Did you figure out like what starts the thought?
I think lately everything triggers me.
Wayne said Mercury retrograde. You need your crystals out.
That's really funny is because while Sierra was working on her stuff, I actually made a list of things to help me with my mindset.
Yeah.
And I had a list of 10 things. And what's really funny is the last thing I wrote down was, actually ended up being number 11, was crystals, like some kind of crystal therapy of some kind.
So there's something I want to say along this before you continue is
Okay.
I feel like you're bringing up a lot of judgment along yourself for not having work done. So if you had removed the judgment, if you remove the meaning of what it means, and you just loved yourself and you saw everything through the eyes of love, and you literally removed any judgment, right? Because who actually cares? Who's actually judging you besides you? You know, probably no one.
The person whose bank account, because anyway, my PayPal is currently linked to my roommate's bank account, and so when I can't make your payment, it comes out of their bank account. So them.
Okay. So how can you show them that you're doing everything in your power and have an agreement with them that, like, we're going to get this figured out. I'm going to pay you back. Like, you know what I mean? So it's
But they also know what I'm going through. They know what's going on with me, you know.
Exactly. So, like, asking to give you grace. So you're putting more pressure on yourself than you need to be. And it's sitting down and saying, okay, well, I didn't really get a whole lot done today. I didn't really get a whole lot done this week. Okay? I've got no one to blame but me, because I'm the only one that can make my success happen. But I'm going to honor myself knowing that I did what I needed to do. I'm going to love myself for doing what I needed to do this week. But this next week, here's my focus. Here's what I'm working on. And it's reshifting into dedicating yourself to something new. Right?
Okay. All right.
Life happens. We all have funky time. We get sick. Right? We try to have fun. We try to go do something different. We don't feel good, or something happens that we get knocked off our rocker. We're like, Facebook crashes. The world ends.
I did like sage our entire house yesterday.
Cool. Yeah. That's an accomplishment. I want you to start writing down 3 things that you actually want to get done every single day. And then every time you get one of those things done, you celebrate. Yay! It could be laundry. I need to get a load of laundry done today. I did laundry. Yes, yes, yes. I did it. I want you to show your brain that you're capable of doing things really, really quickly and getting things done.
Okay.
Wayne said, retrograde brings out a lot of those themes. Technology messing up is a major theme. It's finding a way to not let the planets affect you. So it's just... a lot of what we talked about, you know, in the last training I did was choosing to feel good. What's something that I can easily feel good about right now? What do you feel good about right now? What makes you smile inside?
I don't know. My cat.
Go give your cats a big old kissy snuggle, like little dance, like my cat's always like, yeah, like what I love on him, he's like, okay, that's enough, like, okay, that's fine, like. But
the beats are awesome, but it's inaccessible. I saw that.
Well, and so maybe it's visualizing, maybe it's going there in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we know that feels good. And you have to figure out what is really easy for me to feel good about. If not, you need to write it down. You probably need to write down like 50 things you're grateful for. And that's going to be hard, but it's going to be helpful. 50 things you are grateful for. The other day, I was like, oh my God, I'm so grateful that I live in countries that I have clean freaking water. The water went out here the other day, and I was like, how do I shower? Like, what do I do? And I asked my Airbnb lady, and it was just one of those things that just happened in the city. There was like a water outage, or they were trying to fix it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that this isn't something that I have to think about all the time. Where am I going to find water to clean my body? I have water accessible to me. I had water in the fridge, so I was fine to drink. But I'm grateful for growing up the way I did, right? And so it's like, what can I actually feel good about? Not what I'm supposed to feel good about, but what am I actually grateful for? Maybe it's your cute little owl mug. I'm so grateful that owls are made, mugs are made out of owls. It's so cute. I love mugs. Mugs are my jam. So I have a ton of them. Okay, Sierra, see ya. But it's really small party.
My turmeric tea. Anyway, yeah.
You what?
My turmeric tea.
Yeah.
I don't know if I say it right, but whatever. Turmeric.
Turmeric.
Yeah,
I say turmeric, but
okay.
I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't know if I say it right either. I'm not claiming I do. Like I was talking to Wayne, it sounds like you guys are on an interesting wavelength together. It's really, really easy to find all of the things that are going wrong when your brain is in the dumps of what all the things that are going wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we have to retrain our brain constantly to think about the things that we do want, to think about the things that we do want to, because when we're in that negative vibrational state, we attract more of the same. You know this. You guys know this before.
I know.
Attract more of the same. How can I feel good? You
In
guys
fact, I wrote that down the other day. What was it I wrote down? I wrote down something. I did. If you complain or feel self-pity, expect to get more of what you are complaining about or feel sorry for yourself for.
Yeah. You know this. I want you to write down 10 things that you like to do for fun. 10 things that bring you joy. You like to do them to have fun. Because maybe that's going for a walk. Maybe it's,
if I can do it today.
Right, when you're feeling good. So maybe it's going for a drive. Can you drive usually?
I don't actually have I would be able to. I don't have a car.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to try and think of solutions, like, okay, if you can't walk around, then what can we do? Maybe it's, I love watching TV shows. I love escaping in like TV show drama and like just watching like happy things. Like it takes my mind off of what's going on for me, and I get to be there. Maybe it's watching some of, my trainings or someone else's trainings that you really look up to. Maybe it's making some turmeric in the middle of the day. Maybe it's listening to music and just jumping around a little bit and just enjoying. And maybe it's like a craft. Maybe it's making something. Maybe it's
actually this is something here's something to be happy about. This is something really silly. Okay. I'm getting new crayons today.
Yay!
Amazon. They're like the really good ones. They're crayons. I don't know if you ever heard of those, but they're like they're better quality than what you can buy at like Walmart or whatever.
Yeah.
Where they actually aren't gappy. And yeah, anyway, so yeah. And they're vegan. They're not, you may not care, but they're vegan. Yeah. I care. I looked up, that's how I found them, was I Googled vegan crayon.
I love it. But do you see how your energy just shifted there because you suddenly started thinking about something that was exciting?
Oh yeah, that I'm getting crayons from Amazon today. Yeah.
But your energy shifted.
Yeah, it did. You're right.
And then we have to stay in that energy shift.
Mm.
It takes a second to change our energy, you guys. A second. But we have to actively choose to do so. Right? It's easy to kind of like, it's easy to sit in the shit. You gotta choose to step out of it.
That was the thing. That was why I wrote that down the other day, because I was like, okay, I kept on feeling myself wanting to like wallow in like self-pity, basically. And I'm like, okay, I realize that this feels good, but it's only pacifying my ego. My ego is not want this. It's not going to serve me. It's not going to get me where I want to go. It's only actually going to make things worse for me. So, but the problem is that like I said, the past still keeps haunting me, and I have to keep catching myself. And I mean, it's been many, many, many times a day that I'll catch myself, and I'll be thinking about who knows what. I mean, it could be something with my ex-husband, or it could be anything. And so one of the things I'm going to do, and actually the course that I've been putting it off, and here's the thing I need to do.
I called you out the other day for it because you were like, oh, I need to put this out, or I need to finish creating this so I can sell it.
Well, so the course that I'm creating is, I haven't decided which way I want to do the name. It's going to be one way or the other. It's either going to be Rewrite Your Childhood, Reclaim Your Life, or it's going to be Reclaim Your Childhood, Rewrite Your Life. Because either way works. And so I basically just need to deal with it. I need to, and the problem is I can't release it until I do it. And I don't mean create the program. I mean do the work myself.
Okay. So then why don't you do the work? Yeah, that's a beautiful.
Because I've been putting it off. I don't know, because I've been avoiding it.
So why are you avoiding it?
I don't know. Because it's painful.
Okay. And so what's the blessing on the other side of the pain?
Well, transcending it. I mean,
so here's my thing is, if you don't even want to do the work yourself, why is anybody else going to want to do the work themselves?
That's a really good question. It really is.
Yeah. So you have some resistance here for some sort of a reason, right? You're always protecting yourself in some way, shape, or form. So I would ask yourself, like, why don't I want to take a step forward? What's going on? What fear is popping up?
Fear of failure, I think, really. I mean, from certain aspects, people looking in, I had an ideal childhood. But what people didn't see was that I wasn't allowed to have my own opinions. I wasn't allowed to do what I wanted to do. I mean, I basically, whatever was given to me, that's what I had to have. I wasn't, it wasn't, would you like to have the red shirt or the blue shirt? It was like, no, you're getting the blue shirt.
So the fear is of failure. Well, what is that actually?
Well, so and one of the things, I wasn't allowed to choose. I think I've mentioned this before. I wasn't allowed to choose what I was going to go to college for. I wasn't allowed to choose. And so basically, my father was trying to shove me in this box of being the absolute opposite person of who I really am. Okay. And so every time, so he's up until to the last time I spoke to him, well, maybe not the last time before that I spoke to him, he's still, basically like, well, you're still not who I want you to be, so you're a failure,
But is that actually true? Are you actually a failure?
No.
Okay, why are you not a failure?
Well, I don't believe that wanting me to be the person that I'm never going to be makes me a failure.
Exactly.
Then
why are you letting what he said have so much hold over you?
Exactly. That's the question right there. That's the whole point of the course, which I've got to deal with.
So where else is failure showing up in your life? Like our quote unquote failure to you?
So when the only thing I've accomplished is beating the third gym leader, to me that feels like failure.
Okay. So that's you internalizing it and putting meaning and guilt behind it and judgment behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that actually mean that you failed?
No.
Okay. Beautiful. So then it's not, you didn't really fail. It just means that you get to realign with your goals this week. Write that list of 3 things. Eventually you get into the inaction long enough, you're like, I just want to be where I want to be. But deep down you're like, well, I'm not doing the work I need to do. Right? And then we shift back into okay, I'm doing it. Right? Figuring out where you are in those cycles. But you're not a failure. And you're the only one who can really tell you that you failed. And I'm sorry that happened with your father. That's not anything that anybody should have to deal with. But that doesn't make you who you are. You get to decide who you are. And who you are is absolutely beautiful and amazing and incredible. Sometimes we can't share those big goals and those big visions with those small-minded people. They're not going to get it. They're never
definitely not.
Right?
Definitely not.
Wayne said, it feels like reliving the past. You'll have to go through some things in order to show people you come out of it. Yeah, this is just a little stepping stone, but it's interesting that you're trying to protect your brain's trying to protect you from something. And so what's the worst that could happen?
Worst that could happen as far as what? I mean, I had a few things flash through my mind, but I'm not sure exactly what you're asking.
Well, I think it depends on what you want the most right now. What's the worst that could
Okay.
happen if you like make a decision on this course and you put it out tomorrow?
I don't know that that's going to happen. And the reason why I don't think that's going to happen is because I feel like I need to have done the work to be able to have other people do the work. And
So
the
what's
thing
stopping
is when
you
I
from
first
doing it?
created it, I thought I had done the work, but then I realized that I didn't go deep enough.
Okay.
So, and that the stuff that I thought wasn't haunting me anymore is still haunting me. So I have to go deeper with it, you know? So, and I feel like in order for me to know how to do it with other people, I need to have done it.
All right. So what's your goal for March?
What's my goal for March? Well, at the beginning of the month, I wrote some stuff down. I don't even know I honestly don't even know what I wrote down anymore. I mean, I can look it
That
up.
means it's not a good enough goal if you don't remember your goals. You need to remake a goal right now.
Oh. I don't know if I can find it anyway. Like way back there. All right, anyway. Well, I know that I said $2,000 was, and I no explaining. This month I was wanting $2,000.
Why is it a was?
Oh, well, it still is. I don't know why I said was.
But
I don't
did.
know why I said was.
So your goal is $2,000. Okay, perfect. What needs to happen for you to get there?
Oh wow. I also was, I think, wanting like 3 one-on-one clients, and I don't know. I don't remember what I said, but something like 10 readings.
Okay.
But if I did at least some of that and release my course, I would definitely make my goal.
So if you sign 2 more clients, will you hit $2,000 this month?
Only if they pay in full. I mean, maybe not pay in full, but pay a significant chunk of it.
So we might need to think about raising your prices a little bit so that becomes a little bit easier. But also it's like, well, which one is the focus? Like, if you were like, I would feel really, really good about 3 new clients, well, then let's focus on getting you 3 new clients. Then what needs to happen in order for that to happen?
Mm-hmm. What needs to happen in order for that to happen? I need to get out. I need to be out there, and I haven't been.
Okay.
I've been like
beating yourself up. It's just writing down, what do I know I need to do this week?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's releasing like, okay, I haven't been. Okay, cool. Well, now I get to be. Right?
All right. Okay.
Don't put so much judgment on yourself, right? Everything's unfolding the way it's supposed to, but it's also remembering that we're the only one that can generate our own success. Right? Nobody can do that for us. Otherwise, it'd be someone else's business. Be someone else's life. We're the only one that can do that. Go do the income producing activities you need to do. So let's do small little goals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want you to have a goal to go live 3 times this week.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. I can do that.
You can do that. 100% you can do that. And if they suck, delete them. But I want you just to start practicing putting yourself out there. I want you to create content every single day this week.
Okay.
Create something. Show up as an expert. Why do you want to help people so bad? And maybe it's remembering why. Why is it so important to you?
honestly, mostly it has to do with my father. I don't want people to feel the way I felt about. I mean, it's not just my father; it's other people as well. But I mean, my father fat shamed me. I like gained. I was 161 pounds, 9 months pregnant, and that was fat. That I gained too much. I mean, if I'm anything other, if I've ever been anything over, say, a size 6, he's fat shamed me. One time he showed me a picture at Christmas and said, "You see that? That's disgusting. You see how fat you are, you know."
That's your mission, is to help other people who have gone through this, right?
Yeah. So it's you know, I don't want other people to feel the way I felt. I want to be able to help other people that have dealt with these kinds of things. But my point was, it wasn't just he does that, but it's like he does it about everything. It's not just weight. It's about he nitpicks every little thing.
Right.
So that's why I say mostly my father.
Right. And so, Wayne, I don't know if you read the comments or not, but he said it's okay to be on the journey at the same time as your clients. So the only thing I have to say about that is, yes, we're always on a journey, but you need to be ahead of the journey for your clients.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. And then he goes, your truth is coming out. The throat is clearing. So I think you're holding on to what your father has said to you way too much.
Yeah, I know.
And it's not necessarily a problem, but it's just it's a thing to be aware of, because you are incredibly amazing and you are incredibly awesome. And anybody who tells you otherwise, you need to start looking at them like they have 50 heads. They are the craziest person you've ever seen in your entire life. You're like, what is wrong with you? You got crazy heads. Because why are you letting someone else has said to you dictate your life? And are you going to let that diminish your goal? Or are you going to let that allow someone else to suffer because you can't show up for them?
Yeah, okay, ow.
Sometimes it's a punch in the gut. It's
yeah.
like, ugh. Doesn't feel good, right? I think that's the thing. You have to figure out what motivates you the most. Maybe it's not money. Maybe it's being there for someone. There's a bug in here. Maybe it's being there for someone because when you needed someone, you needed the version of you. You needed you. Like being there for someone so they can have that, so they can live their most happy life. But also you got to practice what you preach, right? We're walking versions of our business. So we got to practice what we preach. But how do you release this? How is it serving you right now? By holding on to what he said to you. How is it keeping you safe?
It's not at all. I said,
in some way it is. In some way it's keeping you safe. At all moments in time, we're always staying safe by staying where we are. So I want you to look and be like, how am I staying safe? Is it because I don't want to feel rejected by clients? Like, is that why I'm staying safe? Is it because I don't want to feel like a failure because my dad told me I was forever and ever and ever and ever, and I don't want to feel like that? It's like, why are we actually staying safe where we are?
I don't know, because it's easier than dealing with it. I don't know.
I want you to think about that question, because at all moments in time, we're keeping ourselves safe one way or another.
Okay.
And so it's like, well, why? Why am I not taking steps forward? Why am I not doing that? Why have I not signed 3 clients yet? Because you signed 1 client, so 2 clients, right?
I've had 2.
You have 2 clients?
I have 1 right now, but I've had 1 previously.
Well, I meant in March.
Yeah, I signed 1 in March. Mm-hmm.
So then you need 2 more to reach your goal.
Oh, okay.
You have 15 days, more than 15 days.
Yeah.
17 days, 16 days. That's exciting. There's so much time. But you got to get your little booty into gear a little bit. We got to figure out what's stopping you from putting your booty into gear and why you're staying safe, not putting your booty into gear. Maybe it's a little bit of a fear of being visible. Maybe it's talking about your stories. I don't know.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
And it's okay, but it's recognizing what is it about it. And we got to revisit your why you're doing this in the first place. Like, are you doing this for you? Like, why are you doing it for you, number one, but why are you doing it for everyone else? Why are you doing it for other people? What's your selfless why?
My selfless why is I want other people to feel better about themselves.
How can they do that with your help if you don't show up?
Well, obviously they can't.
Okay. Saying that out loud, how does it make you feel?
Like I need to show up.
So you got to figure out what your biggest driving motivator is. I'm super motivated by money. Not everybody is. Some people are motivated by different things. You might be motivated by a prize. Like maybe you put a massage on your books and you can't go until you hit your goal. And then you have to call them and awkwardly cancel when you don't hit your goal, right? Like maybe it's like a prize or a gift that you give yourself. You know, it's like figuring out what actually motivates you. What is going to get you to start running? You're perfectly capable of staying exactly where you are, but you have to dive into, do I actually want to stay where I am for the rest of the year, this month?
No.
So your pain needs to be bigger than the pain of what you're going to go through to get to where you want to go. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because once your pain is big enough of staying where you are, you'll like, you know, it's almost like putting the fire under your butt and eventually you're like, oh, okay, it's hot. Okay, I'm moving. Okay, I'm moving, you know? But like it's comfortable for a while because it's just like it's like a seat warmer. It's like a butt warmer in the car, and then eventually you're like, oh my God, okay, it's hot. I gotta move. I gotta do this. I have to do this. This is bigger than me, right?
I feel like every time I get some momentum going, and I think really it comes down to this is it. I get some momentum going, and then I get to where I'm hurting really bad again, and then I get to where I can't do anything. And I think that I feel like that makes me, how do I put this? I guess I judge myself for that. I feel guilty that I can't do things. And I feel like I'm less of a person because I can't. And then my mindset gets really bad. And so I've been going through this cycle.
So how can you set things up to where you're still showing up even when you don't feel good?
I could like do the thing is that, okay, well, I could schedule posts.
Okay.
The thing is, I've heard about scheduling posts is when you schedule posts that they put them, scale them back on the algorithms, like that they don't.
So what would you rather see happen? If that is the truth, I've heard that's true through third party, like outside. So if you schedule it on Facebook, I don't believe that is true.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I'm not an algorithm queen. But does it actually matter if you know that the one person who needs to see it is going to see it that day?
Well, if that person sees it, then obviously, no, it doesn't matter.
Well, but that's your belief system.
Okay.
Shut up. No more excuses. Okay? There are so many ways you can do this. You've got this. You just signed a client this month. That's amazing and incredible. You can sign more. But who's hurting when you don't show up? You got to make this bigger than just you. Because when you are in pain, I understand, but that's probably part of the problem of you not signing the clients you want to sign is the on and off and on and off and on. And that's everybody's business.
I know.
Honestly. And that's not necessarily just your fault. That's everyone. Everybody has a problem with that. And we have to create this consistency. So it's thinking, when I am in a lot of pain, what could I do? If I had a content already scheduled out and I had an alert on my phone, post content, could I work up and muster getting on my phone and posting the content?
Okay.
You know, what can I do even if I don't feel very good?
Okay.
Maybe you don't go live that day. Maybe you don't create anything new that day, but you repurpose something you already have.
Okay. So when I feel good, what I need to do is create content that I can.
When you're feeling good, you got to be working, like you got to be moving the system. You got to be like, how can I focus on creating for an hour today? How can I go live today? What do I want to talk about today? You know, like when you're feeling good, that's only going to bring more into your life. But how can we create consistency knowing that you have pain sometimes and that you show up anyways? So you're still there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that consistency is going to be key. If you're doing things consistently good and you're doing things consistently bad, it's going to take you to where you want to go or where you don't want to go. Like every habit that we have takes us somewhere. Good or bad.
Right, yeah.
Right? We could have the habits of not doing, which then leads us to not being where we want to be. We can have habits of doing, which then take us to where we want to be, right? But here's the thing, the belief system of what I talked about. You were like, well, if that one person sees it, that's a crummy belief system. I believe that when I put something out into the world, the right people are going to see it no matter what.
Okay.
So how can you adopt that belief system? Knowing that the universe and God and everybody has your back, and then of course it's going to be put in a perfect place. It's going to be posted at the right time. People are going to see it. It's going to be brilliant. You gotta play. Sometimes you gotta play with your mind. Play tricks in your mind a little bit until it believes what you want it to believe. Okay.
Well, that's one thing I need to do. I have it's serious. This is my book of affirmations that I've written down this year, and it's this many pages already.
Beautiful. Keep doing the work you know you need to do. But when you're feeling good, yeah. Who's to say that when you don't start doing good things when you're feeling really good, that you just don't start to feel really good all the time? The mind has magical wonders. There's magic in the mind. Right?
Yeah.
You never know. But when you're feeling high vibe, when you're feeling good, you can do anything. And you feel really awesome. And then when you don't, then you can rest knowing, you know what, it's okay to take a day. I'm taking a day. And I have things coming out. And I have an alert on my phone that says post this. And I can post it right there.
Mm-hmm.
That only takes, it doesn't take a lot of effort, but it's asking yourself, what can I do even when I don't feel good to still show up? Because it's not just about us, it's about who we're meant to serve.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
So 3 things that you can do every single day. Okay? 3 things that you know you can get done.
Okay.
Just making sure I actually have, okay. So 3 things you can do every single day to get done that would feel really, really good. Make sure you're working on your mindset, making sure you're just checking in and saying, how am I staying safe by staying where I am? And actually inquiring about why am I safe here? How am I staying safe? What is the fear on the other end? What am I afraid of on the other end? And is it actually true? And break it down and argue it out. You know you can do these things. You just gotta put the work behind it.
My pen just ran out.
No! New pen!
Well,
does this make sense, Stella?
Huh?
Does this make sense? You know what you need to do, but our brain is really good at letting ourselves down, and it's really easy to make a bunch of excuses. Sometimes we have to be a little like, all right, tell ourselves, okay, putting my big boy panties on today, and I'm doing the work. Because
I actually did. I was like, okay, I'm spending the next 2 hours yesterday. I was like, I'm spending the next 2 hours working. And but I went on the group for Confidence, Clarity, Clash Flow, and I actually was trying to comment on a couple of posts, and my comments wouldn't post.
I know, mine either.
And then I tried to post something, and it went in my group, and it wouldn't post.
But here's the thing, though.
I got so discouraged.
You don't need Facebook to work. You could have spent 2 hours creating content.
Yeah, I could have. You're right.
So then it's like, why didn't you?
Because I let the discouragement get to me.
Okay. So you got triggered and you went down the rabbit hole.
Yes.
So how can we learn a lesson and not let it happen the next time? And that's not necessarily a question for you to answer, but it's just, what lesson could I learn here? What could I have done differently? What do I wish I would have done differently? You could have read a book. You could have read a mindset book. You could have worked on some workbooks. You could have been like, what do I want to get done in the next 6 months? And then planned out and mapped out your vision and your plan. So for some reason, you're not wanting to work. And I don't know if anybody can answer that but you, why that is. Or you just gotten to the point where you've been like getting, like you're really good at making excuses for yourself. Like your brain is making excuses of like, oh, but I could do this or I could do that and the dishes need to be done. You know, like we get distracted. People procrastinate for a reason. Yeah.
I know why I procrastinate.
Okay,
I know why. Because if I'm not putting myself out there, I won't be rejected.
So what happens if you're rejected?
That.
You're afraid to prove you're dead, right?
Yeah.
Well, what does failure actually mean to you?
It means that I'm not worth anything.
Well, no, what does failure actually look like? What does that actually look like?
What does failure look like? I mean,
yeah, well,
what
like,
defines?
How could you fail? Like, what would that actually look like for you to be like, okay, I failed?
To not be able to take care of myself.
What does that mean?
Like be self-sufficient.
Meaning what?
Meaning I have to depend on other people.
Does that actually mean you're a failure?
What if I have to depend on other people? I have a hard time saying anything but yes to that question.
Okay. Like, it's like, am I actually a failure? It's a crummy situation to be in, but am I actually a failure? No. Does it mean that you're a bad person? No. Does it mean that you don't have a good heart and you don't mean well? No. What if people reject you? What does that mean about you? What are you making it mean if people reject you? What if someone says no to you? What does that mean?
Well, I mean, if they're not my, if I can't actually help them, then there's no problem with that.
Okay, what if you can help them and they say no to you?
I don't know. I guess I'm not saying it the way they want to hear it. I mean, maybe I'm just not the right person for them.
Does that mean you're a failure?
No.
Does that mean you're a bad coach?
No.
Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I do.
It's almost like, okay, if I go through McDonald's and they're like, hey, do you want extra fries with that? I say no. Do you think they get butthurt about that?
No.
Probably get a lot of no's each day. But they know that maybe the next 2 cars, someone will say yes.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I actually wrote that one down in my little affirmation book. For every no I get, 2 yeses.
Yep, 2 yeses.
I wrote that one down in there. I did.
So we just derailed the fact that if you get no's, that you're not a failure. So that thought is no longer a thought.
Right. Okay.
I get no's all the time. But you just keep going. Your mission has to be bigger than the bullshit. It does. Your mission has to be bigger than all of the no's. Your mission has to be bigger than everything that once happened to you. I want you to figure out a way to cut ties with that and recreate who you get to create who you want. You're an adult. You are an adult woman who literally you get to recreate whatever you want to create from now on. You get to show up how you want to show up. You get to be the version of you that you want to be. And that's a beautiful blessing. We don't need. Yes, I'm grateful for everything that led me to where I am today. Maybe I talk about it sometimes, but also I'm like, it's how can you start to cut ties with what you're still holding on to?
That right there, everything you just said is the entire premise of this course that I'm trying to do.
Beautiful.
That's the whole.
So how can
That's
you
the whole
start
thing.
doing it for you?
Exactly. Yeah. So
So take yourself through the coursework.
okay, but yeah, exactly. That's what I'm. So I guess I need to take the next 2 or 3 days and just do that. And
But still
get
show
through it.
up. Make sure you still show up because your goal is still to sign 2 more clients this month.
Okay.
You've got this. I feel like there's a pressure released just now. I don't know. I feel it's different. I feel different feelings.
Okay. Yeah, I do. I feel it.
Does this, it's constantly questioning, and I got to go soon because we've been on the phone for a very long
We've been
time.
on forever. I'm sorry I've taken so long.
It's okay. I want to be here for you and I want to serve you and I want you to break through from this, right? So it's a constant navigation through what's actually going on. Okay, would I prove my dad right? Well, if that happened, would I actually be a failure? Well, no. Okay, well, that's not actually the truth. So what actually is going on? What am I actually afraid of? Well, what if I get the next time? Like, does that make sense? It's constantly like just navigating and like arguing it. And like I said the other day, if you took this thought to the court of law and they had to argue it for it to be correct, would it actually be correct? No. Right? If you get some no's, awesome. The more no's you get, the more yeses you're going to get. Perfect. You had the opportunity to talk to someone. It may be brighten their day. You know, it's like, how can you see everything through the eyes of love and give love to everyone and everything that encounters you? And maybe that's something you need to do for your dad is just send him a bunch of love. Forgive, release, I'm sorry. The Ho'oponopono ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Write down some things you need to forgive. Do you feel better?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know what you need to do?
I have a whole list here of things I need to do.
Now you just gonna do them. So now I'm not telling you all this.
I have a list of several things I gave me.
Perfect. Pick 3 of those that you're going to get done tomorrow. Maybe 3 that you want to get done today. Get the 3 done. 3 done. 3 done. When you feel really good about getting 3 things done, maybe add a 4th, right?
Okay.
But you start showing your brain that you're really good at getting things done.
Okay.
You're incredibly amazing. You just have to step into your awesomeness like every day. Like show your badassery to the world. That's all you have to do. Because it's in there. But you're hiding it at times. You're letting it get hidden. And then it breaks through, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it shells back up. And then it breaks through. And so my goal for you is to see the breakthrough all the time.
Okay.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about or any other questions?
No. Mm-mm. I think we covered plenty.
Wayne, how are you feeling? Doing good?
I'm doing good.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions?
I'm doing good. No. I was just feeling a lot of what Chella was going through, and I was like, I know exactly what's going on with her, you know. So like, this is all of the stuff that I had dealt with prior to, you know, even joining the class.
And have a conversation. You know, go. You guys go have a conversation and love on each other for this. The thing we always have to remember is that we're never alone in the thoughts we're thinking or in how we're feeling or the experiences we've had. Because nothing is just for us.
Right.
There's other people that have been through it. There's other people that have thought it. Our thoughts are not original.
Right.
And so it's great when you have moments like this to be able to connect and to be that leading shoulder, not to bring each other down, but to pull each other up. So not to go down the rabbit hole spiral together.
Right.
Do that.
Right.
I'll punch both of you with love.
Hold on. He's going.
But it's how do we pull? Let me help you
Okay.
pull out of it because I know what I did to pull out of it. Does that make sense?
Right.
So
Yeah.
you've got this, you guys. You guys are incredibly amazing. I love you guys so much. Obviously, we still have a few more coaching things that I need to create for you guys and workbooks and things. I've got to get off, though. I feel like I need like a hot tea or something. I was like, I feel like my voice is
I
like,
want a popsicle.
we'll get a popsicle.
I really want
You guys are incredibly amazing. I believe in you so, so much. I know if you go do all of the things that I'm going to be giving you guys and you actually implement and you create and you constantly shift into the feeling good and you constantly shift into the I'm making this happen. This is possible for me. And knowing that we're reliable, like, right? We are the only version, like we're the only person who can make us successful, right? Knowing that. And knowing that I can show up and feel really good and shift into the person who already has it every single day and do the work that the success is inevitable. If you guys do all the work that we've talked about in the past few weeks and then what we're going to continue to talk about, it's going to happen for you. But it's that combination effect, right? And so Shella, that's something that you just have to work on. It's something we all have to work on. Keeping the ball rolling. It's way easier when it's continuing. But you guys got this. You've already seen so much beautiful success, even if it's in our mind. The mind success is the most beautiful success you could ever have in your entire life, right? And then it just gets to grow from here, and it's awesome. Okay. Any last words?
So, Lane, you want to make an appointment?
No.
All right. You guys can go ahead and have a conversation on Facebook or something, okay? But I love you guys. You guys are awesome.
All
I'll
right.
see you later, okay? Bye.